Presented by Arby's, and you can take it away, James and DDK.
Faze win the knife, and in this series they choose to start on the T side, which is quite interesting. Sometimes in a best of 3 series we see the team who win the knife start on the less favored side as a warm-up. And apparently, I'm not sure if this is true, but apparently Faze didn't warm up before the match began.
Well, the interesting thing is that actually there are a lot of teams who are starting to go towards the T side. Now I think Fnatic quite some months ago were one of the first to do it. But the thing that really happened there is we get a bit of a full start.
And they're throwing the match!
Sorry, James, calm down. They have a full start.
Oh.
It's all good. But it gives me some extra time to talk a little bit about the fact that historically Faze, their team, were always better on CT sides, generally speaking, but one of the really classic maps for them was Cache, and it was because their CT side of Cache was kind of unreal. And the fact that they picked the T side is very, I think, quite scary for Dignitas due to the fact that Faze surely have a lot of stuff prepared here. If they're going to do that, and as you say, because they didn't go in with any warm-up, they must have stuff going on behind the scenes here. Perhaps maybe they watched some demos, maybe they spotted some weaknesses. Both teams have had time to do that, so that's going to be playing into this match, and that's always fun to see.
They're going in cold, Dan. Robbie Lawler for the UFC, he used to fight cold. He used to go in cold, Dan, until he pulled his hamstring in a fight and had to concede the fight, and then he's like, oh, maybe I should warm up. That was a good idea, Mr. Robbie Lawler. Never say it to his face, though. He's quite scary. So hopefully we should be starting this very soon indeed. Faze on the... I saw Faze win the knife, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, we're going to see Dignitas start on the T side. I love to watch T sides of Dignitas. Very curious to see them on overpass as well. MSL is one of the pioneers, for example, for fast executes into the B bomb site.
But one of the things that is quite dangerous and has been quite dangerous this week is this man. Rubino has had some crazy clutch moments, and that could come into play in this matchup. I'm hoping that he's hot because he's been the most consistent player, I think, for Dignitas. They've had some shaky games, but he's always been able to deliver for the team when it really, really counts. And this round in particular, he made a series of crazy frags on low HP with the scout, and it really turned the tide of that matchup. And you can see he's a player with a lot of heart as well. And the statistics, they look super amazing, but that is generally due to the fact that Dignitas have been having a hard time this week.
What about Foxstat? He is.
What about Fox, James?
I'm a fan of Fox. I used to have a Fox sticker on my Dragon Lore. I don't think he gets enough credit for how beast he is, especially over towards B bomb sites with Jacob. And he is so fast with the AWP. It is absurd how quickly he can pick people off. So he is going to be an important man for his team. And again, I'm curious, obviously, with Kishima coming in, on Cache especially, sometimes he's playing with Kishima over there and Jacob's over towards middle. It seems to flip a bit backwards and forwards, so we'll see how he does. But always dependable for his team. We'll see what he can do on the CT side a bit later on, but now we will see Faze starting on the T side. They will be the aggressors, Dan.
Yeah, they will, and the opening pistol round is going to be quite fun because, again, if there has been a lot of research that's been done, and I actually saw that, I think, against Fnatic on Mirage, whereby TSM, I don't know if they maybe just had a good idea of what Fnatic likes to do, if they specifically saw some of their demos and saw their openings, but they played a kind of a counter strategy to what Fnatic did. So if Faze have something lined up there for the defense of Dignitas, we're going to see, because they're starting to move in now. Although Dignitas have players in place to deal quite effectively with any aggression towards that A bomb site. So we'll have to see if Faze are going to be able to get the entries that they require, because they don't have any nades, James. That means that they've got to hit the shot straight away. No grenades to help them.
Indeed, very passive start here from Faze. If they can get into close quarters on the sites, then maybe those Kevlars will come in handy. We've got just full Kevlar on both sides here. It seems that both teams are expecting an all-out war, and that might be the case. 1 minute 10 on the clock for Faze to decide what to do. They're moving away with their initial control over towards one site. Let's see where they are opting to go. Could be mid, could be the other side of the map. And indeed, they are slowly moving. This is a really interesting strat. Not often you see this such a slow play with 0 grenades on the map here. Rubino taking damage over towards mid, and he has abandoned that for the time being. AZ's in position, and the push comes in towards B.
Yeah, nice first connection from Cajun. Pops one head. Is there more to be popped? It's going to be his as Rain returns, and that is going to clear a path to that bomb site. So the bomb can go down now as Rubino looks for shots over the top there by Heaven, but he is tagged very severely. 7 points of health. He's bleeding out at the moment. Someone send that man a medic, but they're going to send in MSL there through the vent. He's going to find a pop onto Fox, but there's still AZ left, and Rain is doing damage as well. And now it's down to Jacob on the bomb site to hold this position, but Config will remove him, leaving it all up to the man AZ. That bomb is open though, so he has a really good opportunity to play with these CTs. Oh, the running shot there from AZ straight in the face of Rubino, and now it's just Config, and he needs to connect something soon because there's no defuse kit here for Config, and there it is, but he has not been left with enough time, and the round will be won by Faze.
Very nice start. The team who chose the T side will start off on the correct foot, but that was a very tense pistol round, Dan. Not often you find 10 players all with Kevlar in that situation, and indeed it went down to the wire. Very nice played, very nice headshot there towards the end. A key headshot when one player wanted to cover the other as that long 10-second defuse came in. And with no kit, maybe the play would have been to try and trade and get the kill earlier on, but such is life. P90 coming out onto Fox now. And that's always great to see. Not much to offer here on the CT side. They have chosen to go for the Force, which may delay the appearance of AWPs for them. Config getting taken down immediately. AZ and Jacob coming in with the AKs.
Yeah, this will be hard to stop at this point. There's a lot of frags going their way, and Fox with that P90 is going to be pretty annoying, and that is why he's going to be jumping underneath Rubino, gets an easy spray down, and now the bomb site has been taken successfully by Faze. So Dignitas looking for maybe some cheeky exit kills as Faze will run away from the bomb. But as you suggested, James, hopefully Faze know it too. They could just stand and check us. If they really want to eliminate the possibility that they get killed by any exit players looking for exits, they could just stand and check us. But that's not to be the case here. MSL and Tensky both get 1 versus 1s, and they will both win them, which they will be very pleased about. And the weapon picked up by MSL is a P90.
Yeah, Tensky can hold the angle and hope that the bomb blast sends that weapon a bit closer to him. I have a nerd thing to talk about with Rubino, though, in a second. We'll see. Tensky doesn't really want to take that engagement once more because that is definitely unfavorable for him, and he will just try and hold on to what he has. So you saw Rubino in the vents there. Again, the vents have changed on Cash. If you're not crouching, then you're basically creating blind spots for yourself. You saw he had no idea there was a player right underneath him. You have to crouch or move slightly back to see through the vents properly. Otherwise, they can just run in and you're not going to see much. So that is a problem there. That's something people need to adjust to. Otherwise, you'll get punished like that. And then basically be wasting your money on a force buy. An eco coming out here for Dignitas. We have a flash onto Config and what Tensky had from the previous round. So we'll see how they use that flash. We can expect some aggression here from Dignitas. Seems A has been abandoned.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas going for the save there onto the B bomb site, and so we've talked about the many approaches here for the anti-eco rounds previously today. And you know, you can actually just go in with everybody without any information finding first, and maybe even potentially into a stack. That's okay, but you have to throw all the correct Molotovs first. That's the only condition there, because otherwise you can get caught off by all these players playing these close-range spots, and looks like Kiyoshima will be able to deal with the only spot, which was Rubino at the forklift. Otherwise, it's a bit of a bloodbath here for Faze to capitalize upon as they wreak havoc there towards the A-bomb site and eliminate all these remaining players on the save. But nice little flash there coming from Config, very telegraphed though, so not really actually nice at all. Either way, Faze with a clean round, and now it's time for Dignitas to buy. And I'm very curious what they have to post here, because they have a limited supply of grenades and they have no AWP, so it's going to be really tough for them.
I respect the arts and crafts that was done there with that sign. Much better than the tiny paper sign we saw yesterday, Dan. It is improved. We have a better crowd here today. So 3-0 here in favor of Faze, starting on the T side. Again, no AWP for Dignitas because of that force buy earlier on. They are a side who don't often feel like they have to have an AWP, but that's more for the T sides. It is going to be important on an open map like Cash. We have a fast play into the mid area, not really working out though. Rubino taking one, then he will get traded by AZ. Rain trying to stop any boost coming in, so there's no support to retake the mid area. What do Faze choose to do with this? They can split in either direction. Got players in strong positions, but indeed it seems Dignitas do want to do something about it. Not going to pay off though. Rain ready and waiting, punishing.
Yeah, that's so smart from Faze. They realize that Dignitas are really aching for some information. They go for the play, Rain's in position to punish it. And now after that, they can push into the B-bomb site. But Config, can he do more damage here? That's Rain out of the picture. Who else is going to go down here? Will it be Config? He's in a great position. And there's one on the spray down, but not the second. And now it's a 2 versus 2 with these CTs fast on the approach from either side. The only issue is that they don't have a kit, which will they're pressed for time, but the bomb is not going down. Kiyoshima, he's got a read on this. He's going to start down MSL, and there's time to even rotate. This is so painful for Tensky to deal with. At the very least, he can easily rotate to A, But this is going to be tough because before he unless it looks like he's going to go for the gamble a little bit and run up, but I don't think he's going to catch the bomb before it's planted, and that's the real issue for him.
Indeed, the bomb is going to make it across before he can go for the peak. So he's in a crossfire situation, a 1 versus 2. He doesn't have a kit, he needs to find frags fast. A bit of pre-fire coming in, just in case both players are on the site, boosting behind the barrels. That might deter them, although they are in separate positions. So, player on the site doesn't necessarily need to peek. It's AZ who will have to have the first engagement here. Kishima, if he moves to the left too much, then his shadow will give away his position, which means Tensky can get a bit of a cheeky kill here. But he's going to have to try and force the issue, winning the first duel, but again, it's an open plant here. And there's not much he can do in the situation. Again, he doesn't have time to defuse the bomb either. Going to make a run for it and try and hold on to this AK. Another successful round for Faze.
Yeah, it's really painful. I mean, Dignitas, what did they have to really work with in that round? They had, armor, sure, but lacking on any kits. The nades were very, very low, and all these factors combined to put Dignitas in a mind of aggression. And to be honest, they did a good job at bringing it that close, but they're going to be back to the eco now. Although that said, stealing away an AK, keeping the Kevlar and helmet alive and a smoke for Tensky allows, possibilities here for FaZe. They could try to play with this AK. They can send it on a bomb site alone, or they could stack with it. They could push with it. There's lots of options to try to do damage. If they get damage in this round, that's going to be really important for Dignitas. They've got to keep the economy of FaZe low. And FaZe will be pushing mid now to start things off.
Meanwhile, we have some aggression from Dignitas again. Quite common that when you are down on utility, you go for the aggression to try and give yourselves as many advantages as possible. So perhaps with that push, they will have a read as to the intentions of FaZe and try to play against that config, though, getting taken down from the back, and KTB's in no man's land, has nothing really to fight with, and he will go down for free. 3 players left, and you have to wonder if Dignitas will use the last 2 players to try to hold on to what they have. MSL, though, is going to go down and leave Tensky alone just as the bomb goes down. Tensky now in a situation where it would be beneficial to try and hold on to this, well, everything he has. Currently carrying 4,600. That is not anything to scoff at.
Yeah, and I mean, they can buy next round regardless, even if he dies, but it can actually be really nice to save in these situations if the odds are very, very unfavorable, and now they certainly are. And he's sort of get out of there because the flank is coming. He realizes it, he anticipates it, but Jakin will still make the frag with a headshot. So that's unfortunate there, but again, they can buy anyway. And we shall see if they can get something done with that buy, because the AWP comes in, which is the first difference, and the second difference is that they will be filled up with grenades. There's lots of utility in the way of smoke grenades, flashbangs, and incendiaries. So that means they can play a slower round, but will FaZe allow that? Maybe FaZe are going to decide to play a fast round to catch Dignitas off balance.
My question is how the CTs will play the mid area, because I think they can expect some consistent aggression there from FaZe, and indeed, maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Fox expecting somebody to go for a boost, but it seems like a fast play elsewhere is in play. Very nice grenades, doing some early damage there to FaZe as they gather behind the smoke. 2 players on the site here for the CTs. And they have Rubino in for a fast rotation, should one be required. MSL though doing great work, lead by example MSL. 2 frags for him, no answer from FaZe.
Yeah, that's a great open up. And now they have a good delay here to get that rotation in there. Still 5 players standing alive here for Dignitas as they hold on to the A-bomb site. And the bomb is still in the hands of FaZe, and that's something. They have some time, that's also something, but right now they have no players, which is a whole lot of nothing here for Kiyoshima to try to deal with. Some tagged people on Dignitas, but to make his way in here would be utterly absurd. Kiyoshima doesn't even have any grenades here to aid his entry. And this is a very open choke point as well. And MSL will get the frag. And those 2 initial frags here from Forklift, these ones are so important that completely stop the push by itself. And MSL's been a player that has had some of the worst performances on the team, and again, as the in-game leader, you don't necessarily expect him to have the best performances, but that is definitely a great way to start things off for them to win their first round.
So I believe this is a technical pause coming in as one player has dropped from the server. And again, I mean, we see that forklift position. It's important to note that it has changed recently. It used to be really difficult and inconsistent to get kills there, but they've opened up the area a bit more and adjusted the forklift to make it more consistent for people playing on both sides of that position. MSL, again, getting an important 2 frags there. Kishima trying to do damage towards the end, but unable to do so. 4 players, I believe, surviving for Dignitas in that round. Now we have everybody back on the server, so hopefully we will resume things soon. 4-round lead for FaZe at the moment.
Yeah, and the really important thing was yeah, they kept all those players alive. That's the most important thing, because when you're in this situation whereby you've been losing loads of rounds in a row, if you finally win that one round, you spend all your money. If you go down to like one player, you're suddenly buying up. The buy's not even good, and then you can just get reset straight away again. But now they've actually got immediately a buffer to work with. They can actually buy if they lose a round, and it's going to be okay for them to do that. So that's a nice way to set things up. But they need not to get crushed here, so they can generate some momentum moving forwards.
Yeah, indeed, everybody survived in that round actually for Dignitas. My mistake. Well, it is a bit of an uphill struggle still, while they will be able to buy in the next round. Should that happen, they would be 5 rounds down with minimal loss bonus. So they have a lot of catching up to do. They need to get their money in the right place. And indeed, the unpause has come in, so we will see who takes the advantage first in this round. Fox back on the AWP as well. Sorry, on the AWP as well as Cajun B now. And again, Fox is a very fast AWPer on the T side as well as the CT side. So if he can get in position, then Dignitas may have a problem on their hands.
Yeah, it's going to be quite cool to see the choices made by the AWPers on the map at the moment, Fox and Cajun B. So Config pushes quickly here, but looks like it's going to be Kiyoshima taking down MSL immediately at the start of the round, and that's not a fun way to start things off. Normally the CT side should post some kind of reaction, some kind of response here, because you've gone down in an advantage to a disadvantage. Now you need to try to claim back something, but it looks like Faze is just going to take more and more as AG picks up a kill against Tensky. And there is still a lot of time here. Faze don't have to jump the gun. They can wait a little bit. They can allow the Dignitas side to start spreading a bit more thinly across both bomb sites, or starting to question things. Maybe they'll go for an aggression. Maybe they're going to make a mistake, and this gives you time as the T side to all gather up and to punish that mistake. And there it is, Rubino pushing the A main area alone with not even a flashbang to help him out from a friend. And now it's the 2 versus 5 situation. Dignitas are in a lot of trouble right now. Config, he's going to get the first frag onto J-Chem. Let's see if he can get some more. It's going to be Rain taking him down, so Cajun B, it's all he can do to survive now. And looks like he's good for that, but still, a bit of a weird round there, James.
Well, Rubino did have a pop flash from a teammate in the position. Yeah, it's your mistake, Dan. In the position that Freiburg does the same for NIP, over towards the wall near the car. But the problem was there was one player trapped behind the box, but AZ came in just after the flashbang from into main, basically, to get the kill there. So unlucky for Dignitas, but who were already down on some men. 3 surviving for Faze. And indeed, this is worst case scenario for Dignitas, losing the next round. Yes, they can come with some kind of buy, but it may not be a great one. We'll see how many grenades they can get out should they choose to buy. 6-1 for Faze, a good start on their T half. So if they were choosing this to warm up, then they're warming up. It looks pretty hot at the moment. Cajun B manages to save the AWP, so we may see some aggression based on this. And indeed, when you have a good spawn, a forward spawn, as AZ does in this particular round, but maybe a bit more forward, then you can do that play that Kiyoshima did and try and take down the CTs as they move through mid towards the short position. It is a risky play, and that gives you an example as to why.
But yeah, you can see that the buy is looking good here from Dignitas, all because of the merit of them surviving with 5 players on the round that they won. Now we've got Rain looking for some penetration damage there through the metal shutter, but he will find limited damage. What is that? That's just disgusting from AZ through the smoke. Goodbye, Tensky, and another early round advantage for Faze. And again, it seems kind of free. And again, a second follow-up from Faze before they even push in. A lot of teams would be very satisfied with that 1 frag advantage at the start of the round. Then they play that. In the last 2 rounds now, Faze have got that situation with 2 frags at the entry at the start of the round. That's ridiculous now as they converge on the B-bomb site.
This is a standard location for Fox at the beginning of a round when he's playing B on his own. And he just punished the aggression from Dignitas, trying to get themselves back onto equal numbers. Fox will deny them yet more. Jacob running distraction over towards the A site, jumping in, but he won't be too fast about going down there as the rest of the team are moving towards a weakened B bomb site. Nice headshots there, but headshots for both sides, which means a 3 versus 2 Dignitas with decisions to make. Once this bomb goes down, they'll have to decide what they want to do. We've got smokes high and low. So they are quite limited in what they can do, hoping for a frag through the smoke, but nobody is in a poor angle here for Faze.
Yeah, it's really a tough bomb site to get back into, and they've got no defuse kit as well. So it's the full 10-second defuse instead of 5, so not really the time even to try to find a way back in. And it kind of sucks as well because their money is so ruined at the moment. I mean, that they're going to have around the region of, Tensky's going to be the richest player, and he's going to have around $3,000, just less than. And everyone else is going to have, around 2,000 to 3,000. So they can't do anything in the next round really that much anyway. So this is really unfortunate for Dignitas right now. Faze are starting to show us why they chose that T side. They look very comfortable.
What is that? I told you he's fast, Dan. I told you he's fast.
He is fast, isn't he?
That is absurd. It's such a long range as well, and it's hard to get those angles that fast at long ranges. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know the science behind it, but there we go.
And that replay was also slowed down, so that we could watch it with our human senses. Fox operates at a higher level, James.
Well, look at AZ's. Okay, never mind. AZ had a good spawn to go for the peak that Kiyoshima did, and he chooses to go elsewhere. Kiyoshima making sure that nobody goes under the boost position. No nades coming in from Dignitas just yet. Meanwhile, Fox taking a more aggressive approach towards B, but he'll have to be careful. Jacob with a 2-man spray down, and those are the guns for Dignitas gone. The 3 pistols remain. May not have much to do here in this round. Still holding passive angles are the rest of the Faze side. Discipline coming in now under the leadership of Roban, Dan.
Yeah, it's looking quite good. JKM might be good to make a frag as well. If Tensky shows just a pixel there, it's possible. But he's actually going to peek indeed, so that's some information there. They spotted an extra player. AZ and Kiyoshima start to work in as well. So looking quite good, and it's quite a desperate state that Dignitas are in right now, because if you look at the rounds that they had, of course they lost the pistol round, so they only got 2 chances before they won buy round. Okay, they lose the first buy round, they win that second one, and then immediately they give up 2 opening kills, and then the next round it's exactly the same again. And if you give up 2 opening kills as fast as they do or did in those 2 situations, it's very easy for even an inferior team to win those rounds, and a vastly inferior team if they play the T side correctly. So I think that's not with the best of luck right now, but they're back in with the buy, but still it's a bit lackluster, and Fox goes in for a quick play there with a fast spawn, but it's not good enough. Dignitas, what are they going to do here? They need to find an advantage.
Yeah, and they're looking for one. We have Cajun B getting sent up. Kiyoshima trying to spray down to stop them from getting there, but he has already. There goes Fox. Trades coming in now, and they have no idea what's going on. Where's the communication? AZ goes down for free, has no idea that someone's behind him. That's the bomb in control of the CTs. The T's now well out of position. Kiyoshima and Rain wondering what the hell happened.
Yeah, that silencer really coming into handy there, because right now it's a 3 versus 2. This is the best situation Dignitas have found all game long against in these buy situations. And the problem is for them, though, is that still Faze have a lot of opportunity to play this properly and actually still have advantages, because they have time. They've got time, and they've got to have some utility as well. They got that 1 smoke, they got the Molotov, a couple of flashbangs, and full health on both players. And so Dignitas, they might be. Right now they're being a bit passive, but with the 2 players that they have, they might decide to try to get a bit of aggressive for an information play, but that's not the case just yet. They're just going to play passive, see if Faze make the move first, which they definitely are doing now as time is starting to run out. Faze will get a nice peek here with Rain on top of that box, and now he's going to be making his way in and get spotted. There's the quick frag onto Cajun B, but there's the second player there. Yes, he is. Rubino finds Rain, and now the information is there for the Dignitas side. All Rubino has to do is delay for his teammate to get in time, and he'll get the frag regardless. Dignitas pick up another round, but they lost a lot of players there.
Yeah, that is a big round. That flank coming in and just destroying things for Faze. But Faze have tons of money in the bank, even with the buy coming in. Rain still on over 11k, AZ 8k. So the pressure will continue for Dignitas. With this buy that they have now, they do not have much money in the bank. Again, solid play from Rubino, getting a very important round here for Dig. But can they get some rounds in a row now? That is the next question. Looking at the initial layup from Faze, again, you've got Kiyoshima going for his standard pressure. He's trying to stop the CTs from coming to the other side of mid, which does make it easier for the CTs to hold, allows them to avoid these angles being held by Fox, and also allows them to pass the usefulness of the T-smokes into Z-connector and such. Dignitas with 3 players currently over towards A, and there will be another pop flash. So main has been taken over here, and Faze may find out the hard way.
Yeah, this is great information, but information found by the T's as well. Faze opening things up a little bit with a frag of their own, but Config back in again, neutralizing the threat towards B. So that's a really important play because Faze was starting to eye up that B bomb side, but losing Kiyoshima really makes things a little bit more complicated now as they try to work their way back in. And Dignitas, they can play passively. They have a forward position towards A main, and they have Highway spotted as well. So it's a really good setup for Dignitas. They just have to make sure they connect with these shots when the T's push in towards B. And Rubino's up high there, gets dropped before he can get any kills there. And oh no, Config goes down as well. This is worst case scenario. Faze have a really solid chance in taking the round now.
Tensky and MSL coming in from opposite directions, but it might take a while for them to get into position, and Tensky is somewhat smoked off unless he goes for the high ground. But there are a number of Faze players, and they are all heavily tagged. Fox holding an angle towards the vent, so MSL may pass that first test. Jacob spotted. Jacob's going to win the duel, actually, despite being heavily tagged. Now Tensky's got a lot to do here. He's got full health, but he needs to avoid getting traded. He'll see some trajectory from that grenade, and down goes AZ. He knows where one player is, but where is the second one? Can't take Jacob down, so it will not matter. And indeed, Faze reset Dignitas again, Dan. But while this is going on, we have some extreme knitting in the crowd here. You have to wonder what is being created here. I can only guess that.
Could be a hat for Crims. He does fancy himself the odd TK.
It could be a hat for Richard then, or even Moses.
Oh yeah. Well, Dignitas, they've not been having a great time. And honestly, there's so many ways this match has gone so far where they've been shoved into the kind of worst case scenario, or where one mistake really gets punished to a degree that it just makes it really incredibly difficult for them to then win the round. I mean, it's been so unlucky in many ways, but Faze have played very well as well. So not to take anything away from them. This time it's just the anti-eco shenanigans here from Faze, and they're playing it correctly at the moment, just moving in together towards the B-bomb site, getting the frags. Although Jacob's in a lot of risk here to go down, but Kiyoshima's there to pick up the pieces. And it looks unlikely that Missile will get a frag there. It's Kiyoshima to shut it down, and that's another round in the hands of Faze. They look focused, 10-2, and right now, I mean, there's not a lot of hope here for Dignitas because yet again, they've got a much worse buy, and that seems to always be the story here for them.
Yeah, and there's too much money on the Faze clan. Even if Dignitas claw around back, there's just constant maximum pressure coming in from the T side, a very able T side. Dignitas, no AWP, 3 FAMASs coming out, limited grenades as well. They can try and go for some aggression, but they may be scared to do it towards B because of Fox's previous plays. And indeed, a nice flash coming in, and there's a high ground. So Jacob and AZ getting frags towards mid, and Dignitas getting torn apart again very early indeed. MSL running for his life, but he will not be spared that. 2 players left here, Tensky on the A side, but there's time, and there are too many players for Faze. Fox trading for Tensky, leaving Config alone over towards one side, while Faze head towards the other.
He is a long way away right now, and he's just going to have to just keep hold of that gun. See, their money is just awful. And again, as you can see it there on the way the rounds have gone. There's so many rounds to the T's. Then finally, Dignitas get that round win, and then things look really good. And initially, it did because they won a round with 5 players left alive. That's the best way to do it if you just lost a bunch of rounds in a row, because it gives you that buffer. And then in the next 2 rounds, they give up the first 2 opening kills. And I mean, since then, Faze have always just had better buys, and they've always had better situations to play from. So this is a real big confidence booster for Faze, and Dignitas, who have the skill, they have the experience on some of the players, and some good leadership in MSL. That you would expect them to put up a really strong fight against any team. But one of the things that has been problematic for them in the past is perhaps more of the mental side of the game. And this definitely does not serve to help them out mentally or to help them have any confidence. They're going to have to find that from someplace.
Yes, they are still a young team here, Dignitas. But Faze, perhaps they're too strong on cash. The pick of Faze. 2 rounds left here on the first half, though. We have the force buy coming out from Dignitas. They have a lot of grenades, but not a lot of rifles. In fact, just a sniper onto Tensky. So again, the question is, are we going to see some more aggression here from Dignitas? But where? Surely Fox has put the fear of Portugal into their hearts towards the B-bomb site, which is going to be smoked off early. Indeed, Fox is changing things up. He is elsewhere with a new lurker towards B.
Yeah, Fox looks for the kill in mid. And Dignitas probably feel like they do want to peek certain positions because they need that frag. They don't want to let Faze walk onto a bomb site easily. You can see some wallbang attempts there, and there is one connection. And I mean, I don't know if Tensky will be aware that he gets a connection there, but it's MSL to push A main to get some more information for the team. But this information itself is not worth too much. It's all about the frags here. And will they serve themselves up to MSL? Looks like he's going to get one. Is there the second? No. Kiyoshima will shut it down. And it's Tensky in now towards A main to try to get something done. But there will be no peeking towards A main. Faze still holds steady. Minute left to play for, so they don't have to be in a rush just yet. Oh, nice catch there from Kiyoshima, nailing Tensky to the wall with the headshot. And now it's down to Kiyoshima to combine with J-Chem to bust open the A side. It looks pretty good for Faze.
Well, Rubino manages to take Jacob down, and we have frags coming in. Rubino just working really hard over towards that A site, but it might not be enough. No guns picked up by Dignitas, despite the fact that 3 Ts are down. Rain going to drop a bit of a smoke there before going for the plant. Going to cover the angle for him. So now AZ, he's got to spot Cajun B, who's picked up an AWP. That is perfect. It's Christmas for Cajun B, but will he get a present? No, he'll get a flashbang. AZ's blind as well, but he'll still get the headshot. Down to a config now with the Deagle. We've seen him put in Deagle work before. Can he do it now, though? Can't see the second player. 12-2 for Faze.
It's getting worse and worse on the first map, and Dignitas, this is going to be a very good practice for just keeping your head in the game, playing it round for round, and you can always come back in Counter-Strike. It's one of the reasons why we love this game, but got to be mentally in it, and they're going to have a bye, which will make it look like they're not all that much in it, because they have some serious disadvantages here. They got an MP9, a couple pistols, and 2 FAMAS.
Ooh, Fox's spawn. I think he's going for the early peek in mid, because he has a very good spawn to do it. Indeed, he is. But the smoke's going to go down, and indeed, he's going to take the frag onto Rubino. That's what you can do with a forward spawn on a T side, and you always have to be scared of that as a CT. You need to get that smoke down fast, otherwise you can be punished, and Fox is the type of man who will do that to you.
Yeah, and we've got Rain here in the sun room, and this off angle is pretty dangerous, and we are about to see why. But that said, we get a nice pop flash in there. Rain completely blinded. Config picks up the kill and another one to boot. Fox goes down, and now it's down just 3 players left for Faze. They have the bomb towards the A bomb site, but there are a multitude of players in these positions for Faze to contest with. Now they have time. They can just go back there, rotate and pick up the bomb, and cut their losses, and still have the advantage. But they are really trying to press the attack here into A. And so far, it's not going so well. MSL makes the kill onto AZ. What else can they get here on the defense? Dignitas have a chance.
Faze realized there are 2 over towards A, but Kishima's going to come and join his teammate. And that is a perfect frag while MSL tries to reposition here. Kiyoshima coming in with the nades, coming in with the pressure now. He can smoke off the car position as well, but the other player is config, and he is on the highway. Jacob still causing trouble, and he's lost his teammate now and the bomb. So these 2 players are going to have a crossfire above the arrow hill points just to get that smoke down. That's going to allow him to move into the site. Hot flash as well, but config's over towards the forklift. Not anymore, he's going to be gone. So it's Cajun B. There's 20 seconds left now for this 1 versus 1. Jacob holding the wrong angle, and that is a desperate last round for Dignitas.
Yeah, nice pickup right at the end, but is 3 rounds really enough for them to be able to take this one? There's time for a short break, and then after that, we're going to find out if it is enough indeed. A terrible first map here so far, at least for Dignitas. Only 3 rounds. You can see that AZ has been leading the points here for his team. Faze have been looking very focused. We've also had some good performances there from Config. He's going to have to step it up with the rest of his team, though, if Dignitas want to hope to do this one, because they have a really big comeback that is asked of them if they want to be able to stop Faze. And the confidence that they're building, and they are a confidence team, so they're getting stronger as time goes on.
And it all starts with the second pistol. 9 Kevlars in this particular round. MSL with the smoke can choose to bounce it off the wall and make it go towards CT. Jacob's got range, but they're soon going to be closed down here by these teams. How many will they commit to the frag? Just 2, and it will be coming in very quickly. Rubino waiting for the rotation to come in here. He's got 2 to find. Rain jumping around the corners, trying not to get headshot straight away. Indeed, he's got 3 players there. How long can he hold him up for? They're coming for him. They're coming for him. He's going to take 1 down. How many will the CTs commit now? MSL getting taken down elsewhere. Man advantage for the Ts. Rubino trying to hold on to the vent here, but the players are being lost on both sides. Kishima down to 1 HP here. Cajun hunting for AZ. Problems here for the CT side. Kishima alone now versus 3. And surely he will not last long. Spotted by Rubino. Finished off by Rubino.
So, very decisive opener there into the second half from Dignitas. They need to keep that ball rolling, though, as Faze will absolutely be force buying. I mean, if anybody knows anything about Faze, they are not afraid to get the force buys in, and they are not afraid to get their hands dirty, and they can be very dangerous. So this is really going to call from Dignitas a very strong anti-force buy round strategy, and that's something that they should have in the works, in the books. They're one of the teams that really works hard behind the scenes on stuff like that. You know, because of MSL, he is the driving factor in that sense. Now, how does it look here? It's going to start out with a quick boost on top to get into middle, and then they can build the round out of here, out from this position. And they have the AKs, so that's why they take mid. The ranges work so well for those rifles.
Yeah, they can't afford to mess around with SMGs with an 8-round deficit. Question is, how are they going to identify where a potential stack is? You can see mid has been completely abandoned. MSR seeing some shots whiz past his face. So you'll know one person's over towards A, but how many more? Some precautionary spray through the smoke there from Cajun B, but nobody's home in that location at least. So we see the bomb moving now, but again, Dignitas still don't know where these players are, and indeed Faze are on the move somewhat. Kishima being taken down, and that's an AK on the floor for Cajun B. Config needs to get rid of that gun. He can throw it into the vents at least and try and pick it up, but he's leaving it there as bait at the moment. Sprays 1 down, but he's got 8 HP, and he will not be able to finish off Jacob. 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. The bomb still needs to go down.
And it will go down, and Rubino will be on the bomb site with Tensky. Not the best positions in the world, and Faze, because they have the vent room, they know exactly where the last 2 terrorist players are. Maybe not exactly just yet, but they know they are in that vicinity, which means that their attack can be well coordinated here as AZ gets an angle, but can't see anyone just yet. No pixels to be shown. But in comes both AZ and Jaken, looking for those killing blows right now with those AKs. They don't have a kit, they've got to be fast here. Rubino takes down Jaken, the trade comes in. AZ tries to get it with the spray, but Tensky just sidesteps away just for now, forcing AZ close, and Tensky's going to play the better 1 versus 1. AZ's down, and Faze will lose a round. And, well, I mean, this is the start that Dignitas really needed. It got a little bit hairy there for a moment, especially considering Faze just had pistols. But again, they're always going to be deadly. So Dignitas secure the round. This is their round to build money now.
Cajun B had nowhere to run. He's like, I got the kill, guys. Guys, move out the way. But he got taken down. 7-round lead now. Faze on stock pistols. They have 1 flash. They are headed over towards the A site. So we may see that flashbang teed up once again. Or will they try and bait Dignitas to come into the site itself? It seems it may be the latter, all committing to one area at the moment. A little bit of movement from one man, trying to spot some information for the team. And Dignitas will begin with a passive approach. The AKs, the Galil onto the once fallen Cajun B, and MSL on the MAC-10. Now we have a reasonable amount of Molotovs, sorry, flashbangs, but no Molotovs rather, for the Dignitas side. So how are they going to make this work? The plus side is that it's 5 USPs, although they have lost 2 USPs before then.
Yeah, that is hopefully just an anomaly, though. And they do have MSL to sort of start the engagement here. He's got that MAC-10, he can run, he can shoot, and he can make lots of bullets fly, and it's going to be He's going to dink there from long range. That looked pretty crazy there. Mac 10 not very good at that range, but it looks like the gun is going to be jumped here by Faze. They're going to leap on top of this push before it gets going, and they're going to make Dignitas' life much easier than perhaps it should have been. Because especially considering they didn't have any grenades, the whole point of having the Molotovs is to force the CTs out of position, but Faze just, well, of their own volition, just ran out there into the crosshairs of Dignitas. So 6-12, Dignitas slowly but surely climbing their way back, starting to secure somewhat of an economy, but it's not that great just yet. And Faze are going to be having a weak buy, and that's something that Dignitas were plagued by in their first half.
So, buy versus buy. A key round where Dignitas have half the score of Faze. We've got, now this is the kind of early control that Kirishima was trying to stop, and that's the benefits of it, playing around the smoke. MSL config, Cajun B getting wiped out very fast indeed. Rubino's going to get one frag, but instantly traded. All of a sudden, there's 1:35 on the clock, Dan, and there's one player alive on the T side. They've gone for a fast play, and they have failed in almost every regard.
What the hell happened there? Everyone's dead. Just Tensky left, and he's going to try to make something happen here, maybe get some damage in. I mean, again, he has a lot of time, so he can maybe work into a position where he can catch a couple players off guard and maybe get that 1 versus 1. But Fox is playing a really nice long-range position. We have also, you know, Jacob there just waiting and ready in a position where it's not easy for Tensky to really get at him. So right now, this is probably the hardest approach here. And there is the 1 versus 1, and Fox easily takes the frag. And that is not how you wanted to play that round out. And you can see right now, Dignitas are going to be in a lot of problems because they don't have the best economy ever, even though they won a bunch of rounds. That means that Faze did a really good job at always getting frags, even if they had disadvantages, of which they, from many rounds, they did. And that's going to even continue here. You know, Faze are going to be in a position whereby they won't have the best weapons going into this. You know, there's no AWP. They got an MP9 on Kirishima. Dignitas might be in with a fast round considering they have 2 Tech 9s.
All the CTs holding angles, the initial nades coming in from Dignitas. They're smoking off the entrance, which allows them to get closer to the checkers area. The Molotov as well. You see NIP doing the same kind of thing. This forces vision away from Faze, and once they've conceded control of checkers, it makes the B life very, very hard indeed. You can see the bomb is in tow as well, and it seems that Dignitas have an interesting play coming in, but Kirishima almost with a 3K with an MP9, and MSL has massive problems now. The bomb makes his exit, but goes straight back in. Nasty headshots coming in on a boost. 3 versus 2. Dignitas have a chance.
What a disaster there. Very nice timing found by Kirishima to run through the smoke. And Dignitas now left in ruins, but can MSL salvage something? He gets a shoulder spotted there. Fox is playing just the delay game, hoping his teammates can come in. Whereas the cavalry right now, Fox is wondering as the smoke goes down, and MSL could have had a free one there, tries to capitalize, but he can't find it. Now he has an engagement against Fox, but there's no bullets. What a disaster there. All on Cajun B. Can he do it? No, Fox is going to take the engagement, and he's going to win it, bringing Faze to 14 against the mere 6 rounds of Dignitas. It appears the momentum of Dignitas is all but gone.
Kirishima just charging through the smoke. That's a very nice play as well, going through the T's own smoke and punishing them for daring to take checkers there. An MP9, 2 frags, savaging the round. That was complete obliteration. Dignitas now with no choice but to go for the force buy. The Tech 9's coming out, a few Molotovs here and there, some smokes. We know MSL's team are capable of executing with a utility like this, but they haven't had so much success so far. 2 plays over towards A for Faze, and again we've got the aggression. Faze imposing their will on the T side and the CT side. It's going to slow Dignitas down, and again they have limited utility to start with. We'll see what they can do with what remains. That's an interesting smoke. Haven't seen that one before from that position, but I think that is to allow the T's to move. Ooh, that's a wall of smoke actually. Very creative indeed. So Dignitas gets the map control. This allows them to split either site, but there's only a lurker towards one. Jacob spots people going into the vent. That might give the game away here, and Fox is in position. Kirishima might go for a flash indeed. He'll go for the pop flash there. Fox charging in. He's got 3 to find. There's 2. Sees the first one. The M4A4 being very handy with the bullets there. Gets a nice dink onto Tensky as well. He gets his bell rung, and the bomb spotted. Rubino on the site though, waiting for Tensky to cross. This will be a very important plant. Rubino saving Tensky's skin there. 2 versus 2 now.
Even after the massacre, there's still a chance. Rubino in, but he's going to be just as fastly out of action as AZ comes in. Tensky left with 33 points of health now with the M4 as well. First engagement spotted. What a beautiful shot landed onto Rain. Another one is needed though onto AZ. Oh, that's fantastic from Tensky. Somehow he saves Dignitas' skin in this round, and Faze are left reeling not only mentally, but their economy has been also left in ruins.
Indeed it has. It's a long road back to victory for Dignitas, and it's going to be a difficult buy for Dignitas despite the victory, but fortunately for them, indeed, the money is completely ruined here for Faze, and there will be no force buy coming in this particular round. But again, we've got a flashbang. Can see those used to great effect towards a main, but they didn't do it last time. Will they do it this time? They could choose to go for the passive stack once again, although they got a bit impatient previously. Indeed, that flash will get thrown in, but to no avail here for the CT side. 3 over towards A for the time being. Nobody in mid here for the CTs. Dignitas will bide their time and try to minimize any potential mistakes in this round. This is an important round for Dignitas, and everyone going forward will be here on cash, as FaZe are only within 2 rounds of taking the first map.
Yeah, the annoying thing I think for Dignitas is that they don't have any Molotovs. There's only one, and if they want to attack either the A or the B bomb side, if the CTs are not playing aggressively, you really need those Molotovs to essentially force them out of positions that are dangerous, or to confirm that there are no players in the positions in which you throw them. Those are the amazing bits of utility for $400 that the Molotovs will offer you on the T side. And while it does look like Dignitas are going to have second thoughts about the A bomb side, I don't think they've pushed anybody towards the B bomb side just yet, so they don't have any deep knowledge of that. So it's a bit of a blind play from some respects, but a nice little flash there for KGB. And now they are going to smoke off and Molotov off this B bomb side and clear it. And it looks like it is all going to be well for Dignitas. The bomb will go down, and there's no cheeky shenanigans even possible, at least before the bomb can go down from FaZe.
Right, so Dignitas need to secure their exit and make sure they survive in numbers, because again, their money is less than ideal. Lots of players in the red here for FaZe. That's one of them, Jacob, and the second one is still over towards the short box. Rain looking for a bit of a pot shot there, a bit of a headshot, but he will not find one on this occasion. So FaZe, let's see how much money they have in the bank hits. It's a bit all over the place. We'll see what they choose to do in the next round. Dignitas, we'll see if they can get some momentum going. This will be their second round win in a row, but by no means are they easy when FaZe are on the bye. Nothing saved for FaZe. 8-14.
And well, FaZe can be back in with a bye, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Fox picks up the AWP, and I feel like it's time, James, to see an aggression from Fox into that B storage area, because we haven't seen too much of that just yet, and that's something he's very well known for. Teams are much better these days at punishing him for it, but considering how many rounds FaZe have, all it takes is that one round where Fox gets those 1 or 2 frags on the B storage, and then the match is over, or at least the first map is over. So lots of risk can be taken by FaZe, and that's scary. Let's see if Dignitas will be able to, consider this, be cognizant of this when they're playing out their default rounds. And it looks like they are fairly cognizant of this.
Yeah, it is spawn dependent for Fox as well, which makes it a bit random as far as Dignitas are concerned, but perhaps FaZe may want to get a bit of a better economy. That said, if they get a better economy, they're probably winning rounds, which means they're probably winning the map in this regard. There is a lurker over towards B, while Dignitas again take their initial map control and wait for their appropriate timing. You can see MSL just barking some orders to the team at the moment and telling them what is to come. AZ again with an aggressive angle. That nade's going to be brutal, or it could have been. MSL taking most of it. AZ with 21 kills so far. He is beasting, business as usual for him. We'll see if he can continue his tally in this particular round. Just under a minute now, as Dignitas are continuing to just clear areas. Very tight shoulder picking coming in here, trying to identify what is going on, if anything, here for the CT side.
Yeah, and it's about time to go here, and it looks like they are thinking about that split onto the A bomb site potentially, or even just a wall of smokes to keep the CTs occupied a little bit and obscure things. But there's only 35 seconds left, and that's actually not a huge amount of time, and this crossfire is going to be absolutely lethal. Jacob easily dispatches MSL, and this headshot angle from AZ is good, but not good enough there. Refrags come in, and the bomb site has been taken, but 20 seconds to plant. The bomb needs to be collected, and it will be. The bomb will be planted. But it's a 2 versus 3 here, as we have Fox now coming in to see what he can add to the retake effort. And Tensky is going to be in that A main area, leaving KGB all out in the cold alone on the bomb site.
Can only last as long as that smoke grenade on his own. The smoke's gone now. He sees Fox's barrel, though. That's going to be a free kill for him. A very important one. Second one coming in as well. Kirishima will trade. And there is a player behind the smoke. The clock is ticking. There's no defuse kit for Kirishima, but he does have a smoke, and it is planted on default. That might bait Tensky out. He hears it running, and he gets a frag. He's got time to defuse it, or has he? Where is he going to find a kit? Oh, that is brutal. He's probably spent as much time finding the kit as he would have going for the defuse there. I think he made a mistake. He could have found it, maybe. We will never know, as Dignitas get a bit lucky there to win the round, but they win the round no less.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts, isn't it? And I was thinking there to myself, oh, Tensky has to clutch, Tensky has to clutch. But it looked like in the end, just being alive was delay enough there for Kiyoshima to not be able to clutch the round himself. So Faze still looking for that 15th round, and Dignitas are starting to get closer and closer, and their buys are better and better. We have a full rifle setup here with 4 Molotovs so far for the Dignitas side to be used. And they played that last round very slowly. And one thing that's in the bag of tricks for the T side, strategically, is changing up the pace. And we might see a very fast round after a very slow one. Kiyoshima, he gets punished, and that's the AWP down. It's on AZ now. No Kevlar on him, though.
Ooh, he had an opportunity to go for a pick based on those traces there. I think he might have got himself a good shot. Chose against it, though. Rain with the high ground onto Cajun B. Running out of bullets, but not before he gets a frag. Nobody to help him, though, and he will get traded here. 2 players left for Faze. That's all, as Dignitas look to move to double figures. AZ, can he hold on to this AWP? Seems Config is positioning for himself for a bit of a hunt, as the bomb should go down over towards the B bomb site. So Dignitas soon to be on 10 rounds here. And again, I do wonder, I think Kiyoshima had a good chance to get that defuse if he just held it. Went for the hero defuse there. So Faze could have been in a very different situation. You have to wonder what part that will have to play into the coming rounds here. Dignitas looking to survive with 4 players as well.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of money off Faze in this next round to play around with. And because 2 players are surviving here, well, I mean, let's just say it's 1 because Fox doesn't actually have anything. But AZ is going to survive with the AWP. He doesn't have any Kevlar, but that's a lot of value, and they're all going to have around 5k, and Fox steals away an AK. So lots of edges here being taken by Faze if they are to survive, and that's going to give them, greater constitution moving into the next rounds, as they'll have the ability to maybe, if there's a position where normally they would be in an eco or half buy, maybe they can just buy in that round now because they've got these, they've saved around $8,000 there. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dignitas progress here, because they've actually discovered a lot of things that work for themselves. A lot of the slow rounds seem to be working for them.
Rubino's been the main consistent for Dignitas in their matches, despite their wins and losses. And he will need to have his team be as consistent if they are to continue this road to recovery here. 4 rounds behind Faze, who are back on the buy, and indeed, you mentioned aggression, Dan, from none other than this chap right here. He realizes a flashbang's coming in, though, and he will reset the situation. Molotovs as well. Dignitas realized that Fox has pushed forward, and they managed to force him back. Very lucky for them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how confident Fox is there. He actually is super confident, even if he has nowhere to fall back. It's like, yeah, I'll get 2 shots before I die, but I'm going to hit those shots. So that's 1 for 2. That's good enough, right? And that's how confident he can be. But they made it impossible with those grenades. So as you say, very nicely done. And now they'll actually get to go for this strategy. They tried this before. Extreme pressure into B, make it look like it's going to be B, then boost out into the middle area. Jacob's getting some information there. I think he spotted this. And Faze have now got 2 men on the B-bomb site directly. So they don't really know what's going on at the moment. There's a minute left to play with, so because mid is occupied by Dignitas, they've got loads of options here to split into B or towards A, and it looks like they might be thinking about A now, but they need to retake A main first.
Yeah, and they are being denied information. They've got Dignitas have people all over the place. They have many options available to them. If one person gets a pick here, if someone else gets a pick there, then that may change the path there. And speaking of which, Rubino gets a kill onto Kishima towards B. That's going to pull an instant rotation here. We've got Rain moving in that direction, but Fox will trade, and you have to wonder where the CCs will go now. MSL holding down the mid area. He will get traded as well. And I think Faze realized that it could be an A play. AZ holding things down here. 2 kills for him, wasting time as well. And Tensky has to go for a really fast plant here because Rain is close. Taking a different angle. Now he's going to go for the default plant. So Rain and Fox coming in from the same direction. Maybe Fox will lead the charge, and Rain can go for a trade. The flash comes in, but it won't be enough. Rain gets the kill. 2 players surviving for Faze as they move to game point.
Yeah, Tensky keeps being the guy left in these clutch situations, and maybe that's not optimal for Dignitas. Either way, it is going to be potentially all over soon unless Dignitas can find a way to win another couple of rounds, because Faze, they're going to be able to bite, and Dignitas, they've got a decent one of their own. But again, Faze have this ability to play aggression if they want. Fox actually has a relatively decent spawn, So we'll have to see if how he decides to use that one. As you say, a lot of aggressions for Orpus is timing based. So if you get that forward spawn, you're going to go for it. And right now, Dignitas, if they drop their guard, they could be caught off by Fox. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. We have Fox pushing forwards again, gets the tag there. Follow up from Kiyoshima, the nade would have done it as well. And that's the first round advantage here. Oh my god, Faze taking more liberties there, taking away A main and B storage. There can be no ground held by Dignitas in this round as Faze assert their dominance. It's only Cajun B to strike back with a frag in middle. And that actually might just do it here for Cajun B because it's a 1 versus 2 and the bomb can be collected. He has a chance.
I am pretty sure that Faze have no idea where the bomb is, as it appears to be, there it is, it's outside. So Cajun B has options available to him, and he's fairly likely to get himself in a 1 versus 1 situation. So it's about trying to avoid the Fox AWP angles, and what Jacob has in store for him as well. Which way will he go? We will soon find out. He's got full utility, but I think it's his AK, which is going to be the primary aggressor here. So many angles to check, and no help to do it. One look in the wrong place at the wrong time may change everything. 16-10, Faze take their pick over Dignitas.
Yeah, it was a really good effort at a comeback, but it appears 3 rounds on the first half was simply not enough. We'll have to find out if they can do a bit better on the next map, perhaps. But first, it's time for a quick break.
Yes, so welcome back. You can see they're a dejected Dignitas. They did have a brief flurry at the end, but Faze did more than enough to get over that finish line. Let's break this one down just a little bit, guys. So far for me, this Dignitas team, they've really kind of failed to launch. I think that's a great roster on paper, really. And even recently, I was backing this team to do damage in Europe, but they've showed nothing here for me. I mean, they even struggled against TSM.
I mean, their big strength that we've always talked about is MSL, having this team in a good organization, good platform to actually, have some success. He sets his players up very, very nicely. But right now, and even in the 2 matches that they played earlier in the week, Faze just straight up outskills them. I mean, this first half, it was just some duels that were just won. I mean, sometimes you can't do anything like that with AZ through the smoke like that. That's just telling you it's not your day, but I mean, they're just getting bodied in these open duels, no cover, and they're not able to set up any crossfires, they're not able to do any of that teamwork that can help them neutralize that skill.
I actually thought the team who had the better teamwork was Faze. Like, when they were on the T side here, when they ran up that massive scoreline, they would get initial picks, they would hold firm, they would wait, they'd bait out to get the CTs to try and get more information, and as a result, as soon as they got that first 1 or 2 kills, it was actually them who were always in the driving seat those rounds. They were never actually just running 5 guys onto a site and taking standard, you know, like free-for-all chaotic duels. So it looked like a very controlled game from FaZe. Actually, I think Roban did a very good job there.
It's the same reason why Virtus Pro used to be very, very good on this map, is because you have a lot of talent and it's all aggressive together and coming in and emphasizing trading. You don't need these complex tactics when your entries are so strong. I mean, you have Rain, AZ, Jacob. These guys have so much talent. When the 3 of them are going in together and coordinating, making sure they trade, it opens up so much space for the rest of the players.
Yeah, and you know, AZ was the one doing the damage really for FaZe, which must make it all the more sickening for Team Dignitas because it's a former star player of theirs.
And Cajun actually struggled in the first half. Like, he couldn't really get going in the game. Yeah, overall, this is one of those games where actually you don't feel good that you had the comeback there because you never really got close enough to win the game. You just delayed the inevitable, and it was too much of a climb.
Yeah,
you know?
a stay of execution.
You can't be doing that when it's like 13 or 14 rounds. You have to get going at the 10, 11, where it's still a game at that point in time.
And I will give a particular mention to Rubino. He's obviously perhaps the least remarkable player, I think it would be fair to say, on this Team Dignitas side, but on a number of occasions he's come up big for his team, and in Eleague he's actually done, I think he's punched above his weight, frankly.
He's actually my favorite player with the name, a real name, that's also the name of a sandwich. His name's Ruben.
Yeah.
Because my second favorite.
Ingratiate yourself to an
How do you
American
like that
audience.
sandwich?
Because my second favorite, obviously, Hogue, Eric Hogue.
Yeah.
Edren, Hogue's new.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
Second favorite.
Sandwich humour.
Do love sandwiches though.
You'll have to get the Subway if you keep telling jokes like that.
Moses is the little analysis sandwich between me and you.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about AZ as well. Just a few words about him and his individual performance. Do we feel, again, he's going to be able to sustain this throughout the tournament? Because it's been a long time coming, frankly, since he joined FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like he is. At least in this group, I think he can do it against teams like Dignitas and obviously against TSM. I think we'll see against Fnatic. He still did well against them, but I mean, it does. You know, this isn't the best string of competitions you're never going to go against. But I think, you know, for the rest of this event for tomorrow, yeah, you have to suspect he's going to be able to absolutely do that. And we have been kind of waiting for this show from him, and it's looking good right now. And this is the level he was at in Dignitas before he moved over to FaZe. So it almost seems like that should have been consistent earlier. Just for whatever reason, that initial, coming into FaZe with all the stars, they did have a lot to figure out when he came over. And finally now it seems like it's getting put together a little bit.
All right then, well, thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. We are now going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to find out if it's going to be FaZe joining Fnatic in the finals. Nice bit of alliteration there. Or will Team Dignitas turn it round? Let's find out soon. Thanks for coming back. Yes, so you can see there it's Faze, 1 foot in the finals. Still a little bit to do though, because this is a very interesting pick. Team Dignitas there have gone for something of a Hail Mary, I guess, by picking Overpass. And it's certainly not a map that we would associate with Dignitas, but the one thing we can say is this isn't a map that Faze plays.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely isn't. And I don't know if I'd call it quite a Hail Mary, because...
Is there something below a Hail Mary, Moses, you can do?
Statue of Liberty, perhaps. You know, you just hold
What's
the
up,
ball,
Mary?
someone just comes around and...
Yeah, all right then. Okay, we'll call it Statue of Liberty.
Right. I was a little
one of my
not too
favorite
confident
statues.
Yeah, it is a beautiful statue.
It is a beautiful statue.
But no, I mean, they had that incredible game in Malmo against NIP where they beat them. I think it was like 16-2 or 16-3. So I mean, they just came out, and NIP was supposed to be good on that map. That was supposed to be an NIP map in that matchup. So I mean, I don't know if it's completely desperate out of them. I just think it's very clever in the sense that going for the weakness of their opponent. Obviously, once they felt not confident on that map, they had to do something to change it up.
But Duncan, you said you felt this showed that Dignitas are perhaps a little bit afraid, a little bit rattled by what's happened while they've been at Eleague.
To me, this is kind of like they've ceded the psychological advantage. What they're basically saying is, okay, Cobble's one of our best maps. It's not even traditionally known as one of yours, but you can have it. Like, we can't play that against you. We can't beat you on it. And so we're going to try now to be the ones who pick like the weird map for you and hope that we can find something unusual. In general, I notice in history, a lot of teams prefer to go with the comfort map for themselves in that scenario. You know, you just pick, like actually famously Astralis have done that many times. It might be a good map for you, but if we like it as well, we'll pick it and play on that. Dignitas going the other way now. They're just trying to go, let's just go for your weak map and hope we can get the win here. So I feel like they're going to need a really big performance regardless of the map though, because Faze looks dialed in.
Well, predictions then.
Yeah, this is really tough. I'm going to go with Faze though. Just the individual skill I think is too high.
Yeah, same reason actually. All tournament long Faze have just looked better man for man.
All right, well, thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. Let's get into this one with our map fly-through and James and DDK.
The Hail Mary of Dignitas, and certainly regardless of what happens, they need a result of biblical proportions, because Faze are playing really well at the moment, so all the stops need to be pulled out of the bag for Dignitas. And I've seen a lot of cool tricks on this map from them before, so it's not going to be an easy task for Faze. We'll have to wait and find out how it actually goes after we see the result of the pistol round, and whether or not Faze get that good economic start, because that seems to be something that is really scary when they start on the CT side.
Indeed, and we have seen the history of this map, MSL's running executes onto the B bomb site and full buys, and it seems they may have a running execute with a pistol round as well. KGB looking to hold down a short B area on his own, but he may have a problem. Bit of a crossfire now with Rubino. He's got a P250 but can't get any work done with it. KGB goes down as well. That is not a good start here for Dignitas despite the bomb going down. Tensky evening things up though, 3 versus 3.
Yeah, this is a good way to start things off, but still there is danger as Faze loom over these choke points, trying to get in, and there it is. The frags have been made, and now it's down to Tensky. He's already got 2 in the bag, but he needs 3 more now. He needs to get the ace if he wants to save this round, and it's not going to happen. Kiyoshima will take him down. He'll hold the line so that Rain can get the defuse in, and Faze will take that first round, and here it is. These opening frags here, so lethal. Rain with a duo of kills, and now it's going to be a situation where Dignitas are... Well, I mean, there's a lot of spots where you can go for a set piece here, you know, full buy and set piece, but perhaps they're going to be more conservative.
If Dignitas can't win the duels on this map, then no amount of strategy may save them. We will see in the round after this one, once the AKs come out. And Rubino's got 1 smoke, which may go onto the site to try and help get a bomb plant. Indeed, it will. So can they make it that far? That is the question. AZ playing the range game there, and that's config down, trying to duel with the bomb, and the short push will be denied by a P90. So a clean round there for Faze, and indeed you saw that 0-0 stat from Faze. We don't really know what to expect from them. Again, we've seen MSL teams with really strong plays and strong strategy on this map, so maybe they can take Faze by surprise. The first buy coming in. Limited nades here for the Dignitas team. No Molotovs, so their best may be yet to come, but they need to have a strong start.
Yeah, I think in many ways there are a lot of potential strengths that Faze could eke out on a map like this. I think they have the skill sets that could really work well, and we're going to see in this round that Faze have some level of disposability with those P90, so they can get aggressive, they can take gambles there. They save some money by going with those in this round, and they've gone aggressive as well. They've taken control of the stairs there, and oh, this is a big problem. They get smoked off, and this is the gamble that you run, because if you hold that stairs area, You leave nothing on the bomb site. And it seems like Dignitas have read this completely. They don't have any grenades now, though. They've tossed in the last of them as they now try to break open the bomb site and get the plant. And it looks like the plant is good, but Rain is still lurking.
Indeed, and he's not going to commit and try and stop the bomb from going down. He's waiting for the retake with his teammates, and they're all coming from one direction, so there is some difficulty to come for both sides. But there are nades here on the Faze side. Rain getting taken down before he can start firing shots at MSL. That's a good opening kill here for Dignitas. How many more can they get? Indeed, they are smoked off. Nice angle there by Kiyoshima, but there's still one more in the long area. The smoke's going down on the bomb now. MSL's getting traded. More P90 action coming in here from Fox. Is there a defuse coming in there? Not yet, but they're running out of time and running out of personnel. Jacob, he's run out of time completely, and he's running in the wrong direction. Realizes he has to face Tensky, and Tensky will finish off the job. Round going the way of Dignitas.
But that's actually pretty okay in many respects here for FaZe, because again, they kept the P90s from the previous round to try to basically play it a bit greedy, because if they'd won that last round, they're going to actually make a lot of money in the following ones. So they took the risks, and the result is that they can still buy. And they got 4 kills in that round. So Dignitas will essentially be down to an eco if they lose this one. So FaZe have a real round on their hands, but it looks like we might have a little bit of a technical delay once again, as a player has been ejected. Once again, James.
Been launched into space, Dan.
Into space.
Or into a pool of sharks, depending on your era. Remember the pool of sharks, maybe with lasers on their foreheads?
I don't want to think about sharks.
Oh, you're scared of sharks, aren't you?
It's not, well, I mean, you should be scared of sharks, James.
They will
murder you.
It's like you want to say no, Dan, but the answer is yes. You are scared of sharks.
Are you not scared of sharks?
I'm not scared of anything.
Then you, sir, are a fool.
I would be scared of sharks if I was, hanging out with sharks. I'd be scared, but I'm not. FaZe still have a thin lead at the moment. And again, that was, I'm surprised nobody went for the hero defuse there. It's always good to see P90s putting in work. They should never be thrown away, Dan.
It's actually also really smart from Dignitas, because they didn't have any grenades to work with, and they decided to just say, okay, let's just get the bomb down immediately and just fall all the way back. They didn't waste any time trying to clear the bomb site to make it really certain that it would be very, very hard for FaZe to get in there. They were basically saying, okay, FaZe, you can come in onto the site, but we have that forward plant, so you're going to have to push onto us in the toilets area. And that worked out pretty well. Obviously, though, despite winning the round, they lost 4 players, so that that's not what they wanted. They didn't want to win in that fashion, but after the last match, I'm sure they'll take any rounds that they can get. And it's a situation where it's going to be very interesting to see how their strategies will be formulated against FaZe, because as you already highlighted, FaZe have a lot of individual skill, and they're a team that do like to play aggressive and take risks. I mean, I'm expecting a lot of shenanigans from the likes of AZ, pushing all over the place. I've seen a lot of crazy plays that he's made on A-Long, for example, and I hope to see that in this matchup as well.
Right then, things will continue. Only one player has a helmet on the FaZe clan, so the Galil, the UMP, could be lethal to these FaZe players if they can get into the right positions. Molotov's going to slow things down here, as we haven't attempted 2-man push. Aggression is FaZe's only gear at the moment. Have off angles being held by Tensky with a good gun, but that will allow the CTs to make their way into short B. Nice flashes coming in, so maybe FaZe with some preparation here, who knows? We will find out as things continue. Good start though, and Dignitas have no response.
Yeah, this is a problem here for Dignitas, because it means that FaZe don't have to take any risks. They can just sit back, rest on their laurels, which is that 1-man lead that they currently have. And Dignitas are going to be expending some grenades to try to win some positioning on the map and work their way towards the bomb site. And FaZe's closest player is going to be Kiyoshima, and he is backed up by Fox as well. And their positions aren't too defensive, actually. They're starting to get a little bit aggressive. So there is potential here for Kiyoshima to get a frag. If there is a flash, or if he catches it, this timing is really amazing right now from FaZe. Now, they may have heard the stepping. The bomb is nearby as well. This is a very key moment in this round. Looks like Dignitas have heard them stepping around there, maybe trying to bite off more than they can chew here, but it's Kiyoshima to try to even the scales right now as he takes down one player. There's the second one. MSL trays back, and now FaZe are in trouble.
But so Dignitas, they need to make their way onto the site. They've got 20 seconds to get the bomb down, and that's one way to do it. Just kill everyone who's in vision. Rain with a 2-man spray down though, and it's a 1 versus 1. MSL through the smoke. A very narrow victory here for Dignitas. That is a massive round. Money's been ruined for FaZe Clan. That could have gone either way, but it goes the way of the Danes, and that is a crucial round for them. A round they needed. They will go for the rebuy here, and they'll have not much, if anything, left in the bank. FaZe on the eco though, so potential to allow that bank to grow once again.
Yeah, it looks really interesting right now, considering that Faze's economy, economy is down. This gives the chance for some momentum from Dignitas, chance to build some money, and Rubino is the dedicated Mac 10 man. Mr. Expendable, Mr. Clipboard, looking for that information, looking for any players to push towards the B side of the map. What is that? Grain finding a deagle headshot out of nowhere. Config will trade him though, but still, not really all that nice for Dignitas to start off the round with a man-down situation. Just waiting right now. They really can feel that FaZe is a team that does like to get aggressive, so why not use the clock to your advantage?
CDAK on the floor has been collected, and perhaps the other gun will be disposed of as Dignitas choose to bulk up in numbers and move in one direction. And there's nobody there for the FaZe clan at the moment. They've chosen to put all their chips in the middle area, trying to cause some anarchy around the toilet, but there is no anarchy to be had here by Dignitas, who will choose the calmer route, the quieter route, the dirty route through the sewers. So they need to check the CT water, make sure nobody's there, and that's what they're doing right now. Short B smoked off, and that smoke may be the indicator for FaZe. So they can try and go for a retake here, or just position themselves to try and steal away a few guns as Dignitas go for the exit. Either way, so far so good for Dignitas. 3 for 2 will be the score over FaZe. And again, the CT side, I think the CT side will be the one where FaZe need to get most of their rounds against a Dignitas, who I will definitely favor on this map, because we've seen them play so strong before, and again, FaZe having never played it, I feel like there's surely ways for FaZe to be exploited here.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely going to be some holes there, but it depends on whether or not Dignitas have either one created a situation with the veto where they felt like, all right, overpass, maybe there's like a demo or two they could have found, and that there maybe will be something that they can exploit. But at the end of the day, otherwise they only have the rounds in which they're playing against FaZe to find out what's going on. And if they don't get the economy to actually thoroughly test things, then they're not going to have the opportunity to capitalize as much. Now FaZe, they have a buy, James, but it's not very good. It sucks. Not many nades, and that makes a really big difference on a map like this. If they were to play it slow...
Oh. I thought this might be the famous MSR running execute into B-Dan, but it seems to be a bit of a variation where they're going to abuse the smoke. Again, that's the CT smoke that goes onto the CT side of the monster tunnel, and I really feel like that's a weakness waiting to be exploited. They're trying to exploit it here, but the flashes have not done the job. AZ with a 4K, AZ almost getting the 5K, but he ran out of bullets down, and Rain will steal the final kill. Nicely done by the CT side, but again, that is a vulnerable smoke that you throw from CT spawn, and it allows you to be exploited by the teams, but indeed AZ just facing the wall, maybe having a read on a situation there.
Yeah, that's a little bit too strong there from FaZe. AZ is just going to just destroy the lineup, and now Dignitas back to the drawing board, but the drawing board will feature a couple Tech 9s and 3 AKs, and they are going to be going for a fast play potentially here. They got a lot of nades here to get the set piece in, get all those set smokes and flashbangs to get a fast entry, but first it looks like they want to build a little bit of map control, provide a little bit of presence to make FaZe question, what is the true intention of my opponents? And we might have a sneaky boost in store as well. What can Tensky find? This is fantastic. He must surely get the frag, and he will. But where's the punish? Looks like it's not there from Jakem. And Cajun B with a double there towards A long. That's massive there for Dignitas. 5 versus 2. Surely it's in the bag in this round, as they will now be storming that A bomb site. And there's really not that much that FaZe can do. They are heavily out of position. And instead, the save is most certainly the best call.
They're poor as well, having only lost one round from the previous 4. So FaZe were going to be in a very difficult spot. And indeed, if this continues, then the CT side could be a bit of a disaster here. Moving slowly towards T-spawn on the CT side, and that's great for Dignitas that they forced FaZe to a save without losing a player, which means even if FaZe managed to claw around back, the pressure can continue from the Danish side. And indeed, Rubino is hunting for these players, so they may not save these weapons after all. He hasn't got a primary weapon himself, so he has little to lose in this situation. And he's got a teammate in for support as well. So AZ getting some dinks in, Rubino will lead the charge, but now they know where both players are, and that's 2 players lost for the T side. So we'll see what FaZe choose to do in the next round, but indeed, this is looking like a hard CT half so far.
Yeah, it definitely is. It didn't go as smoothly as perhaps they expected after that situation where they were able to win the pistol round, then losing the first buy round. And that really speaks to the strength of Dignitas' ability to play those T sides. And they seem to have found comfort here on Overpass, whereas on the other side of things, Faze have found some level of discomfort. Some of the earlier gambles that they went with in the way that they chose to stack and so on has not helped them. And now their buy is, again, lackluster. No open sight, and that is going to be definitely something that will be a sight for sore eyes if they can eventually find it. But here it is. Rubino looking for a fast entry. Nice damage on the grenade there from Faze. But they will be backpedaling here as they feel the fast push from Dignitas.
Kishima on the scout towards Long. He's got two people headed in his direction, trying to support his teammate as well. So we see weaknesses in the defense of the CT side, position-wise and weapon-wise. Now we've got two plays over towards the toilets. Again, Faze can be afforded these aggressive positions because they are such good individual players. But will they have enough at a numbers game here from MSL and Co? So far so good, 2 for 1, make that 3 for 1. Kishima getting taken down finally. 3 versus 2, and the CTs are in firm control of the bomb. Flank coming in as well for them. So they will be distracted by Rain and Co. over towards the toilets while somebody called AZ comes in from the back. But Rubino is looking for said flank, which will split up the remaining 2 players. Everything's slowing down now while they wait for somebody to play their hand, and now it's Rubino left alone versus 3.
The hands are being chopped off by Faze, it would seem, as Rubino goes in. He gets the frag on Oazy, but at a great cost there, losing a lot of health in that process. And Rain for the ace. Great play there, aggressive play with that rifle. Found much success for Faze, and that is a great way to bounce back into winning ways here on the CT side of Overpass. And you can see Rain just playing all these shenanigans around the corners, and now Dignitas are left with no money. So that was a very timely round for Faze to win. I mean, that allows them to potentially gain some momentum, but they have to deal with the Tech 9s first, and Tech 9s are always going to be scary, and we do have some Kevlar, at least a couple Kevlars there, and 3 smokes and a flashbang, and absolutely Dignitas have a lot in store for these grenades, and there they are. But Fox, he's going to beat them to the punch there. The MP9 is going to bury 3 players in the water, and that is looking fantastic. And oh god, Tensi's going to team kill MSL, or a disastrous round. But again, it was a safe round from Dignitas.
He's a Trojan horse, Dan. Took him by surprise. Well, that is a very nice anti-force buy hold there from Faze, who now lead by 1 round, 5-4. The buy coming back out for Dignitas. And again, they don't have the ideal set of nades that they normally would, and they can do a lot with them on this map, but starting to wonder if we will see that, if they'll get an opportunity, as it is another map where both teams having some difficulty. Kishima coming out of the MP9 now, or onto Fox, of course. We'll see where he chooses to go. Through to the connector, but he's going to get smoked off from his position. Rain, there will be forward of the smoke, and Tensky will get taken down. Those eyes will be closed. And that's a little bit less information here for Dignitas. Early on in this round, lots of players towards the toilets area. Dignitas with a minute 20 to try and clear out these areas towards each bomb site. They've got a lurker towards B and Rubino. But again, there's much for them to do.
Yeah, and of course Fox has the AWP now. That is a really big difference. And Rain, it's so fun to see how aggressive he can be. No respect, getting that forward frag in front of the smoke there earlier on, and that does shock Dignitas slightly now as they go a man down and try to work something with that. And it seems that Faze have good positioning to deal with an A aggression, which is seemingly going to be arriving in the near future. At least Dignitas don't have any control towards B now, so A is very likely. And they wait for the push there. They know that Faze are often hungry for information, but this time around it's not to be, as Faze have expressed great patience, and they should, because they have that man advantage, and they have Fox on an AWP as well. Still nades here to be used, and Kiyoshima's going to be finding his way back in there. Some damage with that MP9, but not the kills. It's Fox there on 11 points of health. He's got to get stuff done, and Rain as well, holding it down, and there it is. Dignitas are waiting. They're waiting for death.
They found it, apparently. So, money difficult now for the Dignitas side. Faze surviving in numbers will be good going forward. Jacob on 9k. That is a big plus for the Faze side. And maybe they can stabilize their CT half now and take the last third of the first half. So again, we have that smoke being lined up to go towards the tunnel area. I think, I hope as this map develops, then it will be exploited, because you see it is very deep into the CT side, and I don't think that's a good thing for the CTs, although AZ showed me otherwise so far. So Dignitas on an eco, not much for them to do. Again, the range not going to work out for them over towards long. Fox could get traded over because there are players coming in close. MSL with a nice pre-fire there. Spots Kiyoshima as well. That is a massive shot. Config taking Kiyoshima down. Unexpected advantages here for Dignitas.
How are they going to be getting back into this one? Faze, they're stuck behind choke points now. Got to get up the stairs, got to get through the bank. And they're, oh my god, actually burning away there. Ruben's going to get forced out of his position, and AZ just charges up the stairs now. 2 easy frags for him with these grenades. But MSL, he's got the AWP, he's against 3 now. He must clutch this situation, but he gets shot straight in the face. Rain's confidence is too great. And another round going the way of Faze right now. Looks like they're starting to get that that momentum back, and that's, again, quite scary. Rain leading the charge there. And the money, oh my god. There's a lot of money. Faze have a lot of money.
They're going full fuel mode. They're rolling in the cash down with a 3-round lead at the moment. Orb coming back out onto Fox. 5 AKs for Dignitas. Finally, in round 12, Dignitas have full utility. We've got 4 Molotovs. Are we going to see the MSL special over towards B? It doesn't seem so, Dan, because everybody's running towards there. We've got 2 players coming in deep towards long, though, for Faze. So we've got Fox covering the angle while Kiyoshima gets into position. And this is really cool. Kiyoshima's playing tight to the wall, which means Fox can go for the initial aggression, and Kiyoshima can answer if he needs to. Almost a 2-man spray down Fox to help him out there. So man advantage taken by Faze, and Fox will sit on that and move back towards the A sites.
Yeah, that is a great advantage, and somewhat consistently Faze have been finding some of these advantages now into the second part of this half. And oh, the spray down could have been glorious, but it will only be a single frag, but that might be enough. It will maintain the advantage after all for Faze on the men. And AZ's got a great angle there. Rubino just not wise to that soon enough, and AZ, he will press his luck there, and he'll be rewarded with another frag onto MSL, and he'll close down the round. 8 for Faze and 4 for Dignitas. Things starting to get out of hand right now for Dig. Let's see if they can find a way back in.
AZ has been racking up the kills on most of the maps so far this week, and he continues to do so here with 14 kills in the bag. So Faze 4 rounds ahead of Dignitas now, and an 11-4 scoreline would be fantastic for Faze on an unlikely map in Overpass, but they're not there just yet. And indeed, Dignitas now going over towards the B-bomb site. Will it be the fast play? They're getting into position. They're putting in a wall of smokes on or around the site. Jacob No's got a forward position, and Dignitas are going to have to be forced to run through. Jacob with the advantage, avoids the flashbang as well. He's got more people to find. Trades for both sides, 3 versus 3. Rain finding an angle around the smoke. Here's a plant coming in, but they can go for the retake. They've got the numbers advantage here, and MSL's going to be completely exposed there, getting taken down. KGB can't do anything about it. He's got a player in Monster short and a CT Water here. How much damage can he do? Can he even win the round? Gets himself a 1 versus 1, but Kiyoshima gets the angle first. Faze 9-4.
That's crazy. I mean, Jacob, he was just standing there between both Monster Tunnel and Short. And it seemed like he had his pick of frags. It was a little bit stressful, but still, there was a lot of room for error there from Jacob. We're going to see it here. I mean, no one's looking for Jacob's position. There's no trade fragger coming through after config. And obviously, they're a little bit occupied with another teammate there at Jacob's, and he was able to do a massive damage. So that setup really worked very well for Faze. And I mean, sometimes it just comes up to, comes out to those situations. Which way do you look first? And Faze are now 9-4, and their buy is still really good, of course. Fox is still on that orb.
And a clean $10,000 there. He's got bills in his back pocket. They're bulging. He may require additional stitches to hold all that money. Going for a fast play towards the connector. Sees 2 players, choose between them. Goes back to the well there. He's on fire, and he is going to get cremated down. There are 2 players to find, and they may not realize that there is 1 more CT here. Rain playing the information game. 2-man spray down and the bomb. Can't really hold the bomb in that position with 3 players still on the map there, but he'll do his best. Smoke coming into upper with Kiyoshima holding an angle. That may allow Rain to look elsewhere, but indeed Kiyoshima has many people coming in his direction. Config's made his way past already, so that bomb may be retrieved. Rain with a nice flash. Rubino looks away, but he can't look back in time. Rain just savaging the T side right now. Config coming in to do what he can, but he's the last man standing with 16 HP and 3 players to find. There's only so much one man can do. Can he do more though? We're about to find out.
16 health, yeah, that is not a great situation. And Kiyoshima's got the better angle. You can see his opponent before. Config can see him, and And again, what is this, James? The round gets shut down by this play. Fox has gone for an aggression. Every time Fox has gone for an aggression, Rain's been there to support him every single time, but they seem just, not cognizant that there could possibly be another player lurking nearby, and that, maybe it's lack of focus. Maybe they are in somewhat,
Indeed.
Maybe it's just lack of focus. I don't know, but that pressure that's getting to Dignitas right now, they've got to find a way to deal with it, because FaZe is starting to take massive advantages because of it. And Dignitas' buy for this last round of the first half is pretty atrocious. 2 pistols and a lack of grenades.
Fox coming in for more early aggression. The flash, though, may put him off there, missing the shot. More flashes coming in, but Rubino will still go down. Looking for another one. Rain in for support again. Supporting your AWPA can lead to great results, and it is here. MSL's going to get dinked, but he takes Rain down finally. Fox flashing over now, trying to slow down the T's, and he will do exactly that, moving into position. And he's got a new player in for support, that's Kiyashima. MSL with 9 HP may not last much longer there. Kiyashima taking a passive position though, while he's got more teammates rotating indeed. MSL will get taken down. 3 versus 2. Lots of time on the clock, but not lots of personnel for Dignitas to close.
And, Fox he hasn't had much impact in these last rounds, but have to hold that fort, because Config's going to be able to take down the aggression of Kiyashima, looking for the information. Cajun wins his engagement as well. 2 1 versus 1s will come out positive for Dignitas, but can they come out positive with the round? AZ's the last man standing. One of the top performers here for FaZe. One of their ex-comrades, a Danish star, is AZ. Now, seems like he's got a good idea of what's going on at the moment, as rotation comes in from Dignitas, sticking together at the moment. And AZ, if he connects that first shot fast, he can absolutely do this one. And there is a nade, that's going to confirm it. That's a beautiful smoke there, denying AZ. He removes himself from that position straight away. And now, that might just be the repositioning that can allow Dignitas a free bomb plant, which will make the difference potentially here. They both search for him, but he gets a free one coming in at the perfect timing. And now it's Config who has his attention, but he's got 15 seconds to plant. There's not much time, and AZ, that is fantastic, isn't it? AZ, such good accuracy there, finds the headshot immediately, and that will be 11-4.
Sharp as the butcher's pencil, Dan, and maybe the entire FaZe team are as well. 11-4, a massive lead here on a map that Dignitas should feel they should surely win. We'll find out if they can hold on their CT side after the break. See you back here soon.
After an absolutely dominant first map from FaZe, there was hope for Dignitas. They had a really good start to that overpass, but all of a sudden it seemed like maybe pressure started to seep in. Maybe focus started to dissipate for the Dignitas side, because they were being dismantled by the likes of Rain. This guy has been a complete monster. He's 24 for 6 right now. 24 for 6, James. That is unreal. And this clutch play from him, this confidence, the support that he offers towards Fox, who hasn't been on his mark, has essentially put his team in a position where right now they are so dominant.
Indeed, but Fox has served his purpose, Dan, and it's Rain who is making it rain based on the information that Fox has gained. See all those rhymes, Dan. Unbelievable. I should be paid more. 7-round lead for Faze as we move into the second half of map 2. Dignitas with it all to do, and now they are on the defense. We saw a very aggressive CT side from Faze, and now they are on the ultimately aggressive side, the T side. Pistols will begin. Only one man that doesn't have Kevlar, that's AZ. He's got a smoke and the Molotov here. Could be a fast play towards B. The Molotov could be for the barrel area, where we will see where it goes. Fox waiting for his team to get into position with the bomb dat.
The bomb is indeed getting in position there, but it needs to make its way for the choke point, and Tensky is providing issue. Config is also trying to block this. Needs to hit some shots though, and Faze are starting to fall in number and in health as they try to press onto the site. It looks great here initially for Dignitas, but J-Chem, 1 versus 2. He's swapped out for the USP. Cajun though finds him in the head with that USP of his own, and that's going to be the round for Dignitas. A much needed round, and there is a lot of confidence to be gained here, and it can be gained in the next couple because they will have the much better weaponry than their opponents.
Yeah, nicely done here. A crucial, critical first round here for Dignitas, and indeed, as we have seen they, in previous maps, they're going for the rifle straight away. Just the MP9 onto Tensky. Faze going for the force buy, and it looks like another fast play from them. Again, AZ is going to be the man with the grenades. They came in slow. This time they'll come in quick, and indeed it is the Molotov towards the barrel area. We've got a team kill coming in though, and that's going to be the man advantage here for Dignitas. Can the bomb get planted? We have Tensky coming in with the MP9, 2 frags for him. Config's going to go down in the meantime. 3 versus 1. Bomb plant looking unlikely, but how much damage can Kishima do? No more. 5-round lead for Faze. Slowly getting smaller.
It is, yes, getting a lot smaller at the moment. And Dignitas, if they're able to claim this round, get a lot of bank in there, they can have options. They can have, the AWP in play potentially onto, one of their players. I've seen a lot of them handle it previously. MSL's been doing better and better today than he has in the past few days in this week. So there is options here for Dignitas to find when they have a lot of money, but they have to get the money first. And Faze are always going to be dangerous. It would have been cool to see them go for the Fnatic play, where one guy buys the Deagle, but they're just going to go with the straight-up P250s. And no, not even a flashbang here. They're all going to die, James.
Ironically, that Molotov from AZ was the one that you would normally see from MSL teams. The rank execute, obviously, with more around it, which we didn't see really once from MSL. There was a nice idea to punish that smoke, but AZ was prepared for it, maybe knowing the strategy of some ex-teammates. 4 rounds now as Faze come in for the buy. 5 AKs on some of the most dangerous aimers in this game, Dan.
It is definitely something to respect and to fear. Healthy dose of fear with that respect. Now, will there be any fear here for the likes of Cajun B? He should be the key player here. We've not seen much of him so far in Eleague. He's quite an explosive man, especially when you put an AWP in his hands. But Rubino's there to support him, just as Rain supported Fox with that rifle. And they do sense the presence. AC really feels the presence of the AWP. He gets shot in the legs, but he's alive. But this is a problem right now because Rubino gets himself a really nice engagement, comes in for the back. He's tapping him down right now, just Fox who's there. Everyone else is dead, bleeding on the floor, but Fox, he will strike back, takes down Rubino, and in doing so, brings it to a 3 versus 4 and a playable round for Faze.
That was an interesting little 3-man expedition towards long, leaving the bomb in playground area as well. It's been picked up now. And indeed, there is a man disadvantage here for Faze Clan, but they still have a reasonable amount of grenades. And I think they will got to be looking just for a duel. Faze want duels. They just want to face people and then shoot them just like that. Even though Config gets the jump on Rain, Rain will take him down though. He's left with little health. Still with 3 versus 3, 45 seconds left on the clock. No commitment to a bomb site as far as Dignitas are concerned. And Tensky, timely push through the smoke. There's going to get himself 1 frag and a lot of information. Will there be a rotation from these CTs? We see a flank potentially coming in a bit later on. Faze pushing the site now. Tensky still yet to be found.
Yeah, Tensky must hold. Kiyoshima looking, and it's Fox to find. And shot will drop Tensky hard, and Kiyoshima is going to be working on another one as well, leaving Cajun B to clutch. And with the AWP there, and it's Fox able to take him down, and he could probably claim the AWP as well as prize, as reward. And Faze will break Dignitas. 12-7, there is money still, though, for Dignitas to buy with, but this is definitely, well, an untimely way for Dignitas to start losing rounds because they didn't even get close to Faze yet. They're still 5 behind.
Fox didn't manage to pick up the AWP, but somebody who has is KGB once again as Dignitas come in for this force buy. 4 rifles on the 5 players, MSL down to the CZ, but maybe he can take a bit of a back seat and try to move his players around and put them in the right places. Nades onto both sides. And again, this is a map where this area, the short B, is very crucial to keep control of. Maybe Dignitas don't have the utility to do it right now, and it's going to be a fast push, but a crossfire from the CTs are going to yield all the frags very quickly indeed. Faze getting wiped out in a matter of seconds.
So that's going to be a really nice way to get back into it. Dignitas with a bit of a resurgence there in that round, and the AWP is in the hands once again of KGB as Faze are relegated to mere pistols. And I would like to see them buy at least a flashbang or something with these pistols just to get into a quick position. Maybe it could be, sewers or through monster or anything like that, but even one grenade can go a very long way. They've opted to buy absolutely no grenades though, so it's going to be down to the raw shots, and they're going to have to contest with the grenades to their opponents, and that's going to be definitely something that will be hard to deal with if Dignitas are on top of things. KGB looks to be on top of things potentially. He's got the angles here, but not the shots. It's Ruben that's got to cover, but he's out in the open. He goes down after 2 frags. But that might be good enough. We'll have to see.
The question we need to start asking is, did Faze get enough rounds on their CT side to take things over the line on the T side? A T side which surely they do not practice very often. We will find out as this continues. 8 rounds for Dignitas. Got a good chance for 9. Limited utility for Faze to try and damage the Dignitas economy yet more. MSL trying to hold things down now with the AK on the side. KGB coming in from the side as well. Lots of pressure here on the remaining 2 Faze players. Bomb plant looks very unlikely indeed. Kishima still has the bomb, but he has no buddies. Nobody's replying to his letters home. And he'll be forced to run into the gunfire here.
And one thing we need to see is KGB starting to really connect with that AWP. That's going to be something that's very telling for me moving forwards. If this is not the final map, then in the following one, because he, is the new transfer. He should surely be one of the advantages. He's the guy that actually, he fills the hole. So, players like Rubino and MSL don't have to AWP. They have an AWPer now. KGB can do that, but he's going to be hitting his shots if he's going to really have value for the team. And so, I mean, that could give Dignitas a lot of options, especially on a map like this. An AWPer like KGB is an explosive one. That's kind of what you want, because you want to be able to take aggression forwards, get those quick flick shots down the connector area, down the party area. There's lots of options in that way, and KGB is tooled to do it, but he's got to have confidence. And they're up against another pistol round, and might see a bit of a fast altercation here in the stairs. MSL with a full spray down there. Oh, everyone's going to die.
That is full garden hose down. The weeds have been removed, save for 1, and that's AZ coming in with a P250. But you can see how desperate things are with a flashbang on the wrong end of connector versus 2 players. Be surprised if he got himself 1 kill, and he will not do that. Nice tags onto MSL, but it's not enough. So the gap is closed to 2 now. Dignitas looking comfortable, and they've got a lot of money in the bank at the moment. They've had successful rounds, consecutive successful rounds. Faze, though, back on the buy. Fox on the AWP on the T side. We'll see if he can be the can opener for the Faze side.
I mean, you made a good point. I mean, it is a question of if Faze did well enough on that first half, because, as shaky as Dignitas have appeared and as patchy as some of their individual performances have been, they are winning rounds right now and they're bringing it close. So cannot count them out. And this is what I was talking about from KGB, those aggressions, but a very timely flashbang and smoke there is going to provide a lot of cover there for him to fall back, as well as for him not to get the shots because of those flashbangs. So well done to Faze to avoid getting picked off early on.
Passive positions from Faze. MSL, though, is very aggressive, but he doesn't have anyone for support apart from that smoke. He'll need to move back before the advance begins here for the Faze side. Again, 2 rounds between these 2 teams, and this is a map that Dignitas chose. They should be favored for this, despite the individual skill differential between these 2 sides. The strategy could take them over the line here if they can deny Faze the kind of engagements they want to take. Bino over towards long. KGB looking towards the toilets, but again, Faze are going to have to spend time moving through, clearing these areas before they choose which site to take. Less than a minute to do so as well. Still some nades left on both sides, mostly on the CT side though, which may become a problem here for Faze. There's still 1 more smoke onto MSL. We'll see where he chooses to use it. Config holding enough angle. Bit of shoulder picking coming in. Rain spotting an elbow, but not able to get a frag here. KGB's been taken down over towards the A site though. MSL rotating into position, and the teaser streaming on the site.
They start to charge in now, and Ruben is going to find a quick re-entry frag onto JKM as the T's start to barrel into the bomb site, but he must clear these positions, and they don't have the angles or the grenades to do it. The bomb will go down, but at what cost? Kiyoshima able to turn around and take down Rubino, thinks it's a little bit easier. There's still a lot of pressure here coming in, and Kiyoshima, nice little tap there, but it is going to be MSL to take down the last player, and that will be the round there as Faze will lose. The bomb will be defused, and Dignitas are back in here, and there are actually beginning to be problems here for Faze.
That was a really unfortunate timing for Rain. He was running past Connector on a massive flank from basically T-spawn, but he pulled his knife out to run faster just as a CT came out of Connector. The timing was horrible there. If he doesn't go down in that situation, then maybe FaZe win the round. But they didn't. They lost the round, and now they have problems. They have pistols versus rifles. That's never good. Cajun B on the big green gun, and again, the money is high here for Dignitas, so they have a lot of work to be done here and a lot of tools to do it with. 1 round away now are Dignitas from tying things up. FaZe maybe going for another fast play here. We've got 2 Molotovs on the FaZe side, so it seems we are going to have an MSL-esque execute. Will it work out, though, for the FaZe team?
Yeah, Dignitas can feel the push coming now. They know that Suez is occupied. The rotation has begun, but will it be in time? Looks like a lot of damage to be done by Tensky with that spray through that smoke, and it's all over. Surely AZ's the last man standing. All he has is a Tech 9, and he is going to be going down as well. Tensky with a triple kill in the round, and it's going to be a 12-12. Finally, Dignitas will tie it up. It's been a long climb, but it's been steady. And now all they have to do is take the lead. Can they do it?
They have bags of money. Bags of money. Even if FaZe managed to eke out 1 round, again, it's a similar pressure situation, but from the CT side. So, FaZe, what do they have to offer Dignitas here? They're going to need to do really well across multiple rounds now to take this map because of the stack of money that Dignitas have. 2 players over towards Party here for the CT side. Looking over that smoke is always dangerous for the T side because it's hard to see players, but Fox manages to do it there. Being an AWP himself, he knows all the tricks, even on overpass. Cajun B goes down. Rubino looking the wrong way, but he finds the right angle at the right time. That's the bomb as well. Bit of information for the team. Would be maybe a bit crazy for Dignitas to try and hold on to the bomb here. And indeed, Fox will punish Rubino for loitering too long.
Yeah, taking those 4 positions, it can be very hard when the T start to take their attention to you. And they could not hold the bomb. It's been reclaimed. The rightful property has fallen back into the hands of the terrorist side as FaZe start to regain control of the situation. And speaking of that, Tensky will take away Suez from Rain. Another engagement for the trade. Kiyoshima wins it. Big, big win indeed for the FaZe side now as he goes for the smoke on the balcony. And FaZe start to make the push, the final effort in this round, onto a bomb site. It is B. And it looks like MSL's in with a quick flank here. Can he get the quick frag that he needs? He gets Kiyoshima, but he's the last man standing. And there it is. Fox has a bullet with MSL's name on it. And that's going to be another round for FaZe as they steal away a potential for Dignitas to take the lead, at least in that round.
Fox with 3 very important frags in that round. Kills Cajun B before he picks off players, kills the bomb holder, and then takes down the last player in a bit of a late trade there. So FaZe regain the lead. But again, we mentioned the economy of Dignitas. They are rolling in cash here even after this buy. Full utility, full guns, full everything here for Dignitas. Can FaZe keep their winning ways? If they don't, then they may lose the game in this round because they do not have much money left in the bank. You see Kiyoshima down to a pistol despite them winning the round.
And the funny thing here is that Dignitas have started off with a different setup defensively. They've taken 3 towards B early on, perhaps a little bit afraid of maybe a fast play towards B. And then now that extra player is going to just rotate back towards A in the toilets area, whilst meanwhile there will be a setup on the long area for Dignitas. But FaZe have not pressured anything. They're playing very passively. They've taken the connector area, but they haven't taken sewers yet, and they haven't taken toilets yet. And Dignitas are starting to wonder what is going on. And will the timing work out for JKM or Rubino? Will Rubino go for that info play? Or will it be JKM? Looks like Rubino will hear some stepping. So now some small amount of information here for Dignitas. But FaZe haven't done anything yet in the round.
Indeed, they haven't. So it would be a risk if Rubino went for the flank there. Can he afford to take the risk, though? That is the question. Cajun B with a sneaky angle onto JKM, and he's going to make his way back, and Rubino's going to use that distraction to come in for a flank here. This could be humongous for the team side, and they are completely unprepared for it, but AZ will answer back in kind. Config going down as well. Man advantage for FaZe.
That is a massively missed opportunity there from Rubino, but can his teammates save the round? That's the question right now as MSL comes in, only a single kill. Trace from Tensky, but that's not going to be good enough right now. Cajun B has to get it done on a 1-on-2. We've been here before. The bomb is down. Cajun is in trouble. Nay's flying in his direction as he moves close with the AWP. Not the ideal weapon, and Rain is going to take him down. And another round goes to Faze in a clutch situation. 14-12 now. They are 2 away from securing their showing against Fnatic tomorrow on TBS.
Indeed, but the buys can keep on coming here for Dignitas. That said, this could be the last one, the last full buy at least. It's not even a full buy, they're lacking a little bit, but for the most part, they are good. The AWP one more time here for Cajun B. The rifle's coming out as well. Config down to the FAMAS and dual bretters, which is interesting. Over a CZ or a 5-7, I failed to see how they are favored, but maybe he knows better than I do. We have Faze moving fast now around the smoke, taking initial map control, making sure there's no over-aggressiveness here from Dignitas. Nobody in control of short B for the moment, but Tensky is holding an angle, and again, that is a very crucial area to hold. It can provide much information for the CT side if they can hold it. There is a lurker outside B, no one down for either side yet, as all the initial grenades calm down. Dignitas moving back towards A. And Faze may have an opportunity to slowly start to clear out areas as you see them doing in Connector. Once they do this, they may be focusing on the upper area, or they could go for the short B take.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit better than the previous round from a space control perspective. Now they have a little bit of room to work with. They're going to start to apply some more pressure. Dignitas very passive. They have an AWP of their own. And the AWP is on that A-bomb site. Will Fox win the battle, though, if he's to have it? Got MSL on the angle as well. And will he go for the peek? It looks like he's coming. And there it is. Nice snap from Fox. MSL is dead. And Rubino now has to kill 2 players. But no, he gets absolutely nothing. Cajun B needs the round of his life right now to save the day here for his team. And it looks like his teammate Config is able to get something done towards the B-bomb site. But Cajun B is still alone. There's no denying that fact. And he gets another quick kill. Cajun B! What is this round from him so far? He has stopped the push single-handedly, delivering a round to Dignitas when they needed it most.
Huge frags coming in there by Cajun B, and that has torn apart the money here for Faze. They're going to have to allow Dignitas to catch up unless they can get something absolutely disgusting done with these mere pistols. Monstrous plays here from Cajun B, so fast as well. Very key frags indeed. Running distraction as well, allowing his team to take down the last player. So you can see the pistols onto Faze. No grenades for them either. No fast plays with Molotovs over towards the B-bomb site on this occasion. Full utility almost here for Dignitas. 3 players over towards B, maybe expecting a repeated fast play in from the T's, but they don't have the nades to do it.
Again, Faze don't seem, like very much inclined to even get a single grenade. Not even one, James, just one. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Either way, it's not going to matter too much, most likely, as Faze start to creep in. They've actually found a hole, James, and they are going to slowly but surely walk into it. And it looks like Cajun B will be turning around here, but he might be a bit surprised or a bit close and he'll miss a shot. That's not good. Cajun B's got to be careful. He's got support in Rubino, so he should be okay right now because there's not too many players from Faze here.
Taking him down to 3 HP, just about surviving. Can they get a bomb down? AZ currently has $750, and that tells me that Faze need a bomb plant desperately. Config is the man in position to take it. To stop it, sorry, but Fox is going to try and help him by shooting Jacob in the head. And now we have the final Faze clan players coming in, but Tensky will finish things off over towards the B-bomb site. 14-14. Can Dignitas take this to Mirage?
There was actually a possibility for Faze to do something there, because when they spotted those players towards A, Dignitas actually rotated 4 players onto A. So, yeah, if that hadn't happened, if Fox hadn't just murdered Jacob.
Not his fault, though.
Nicely done.
Jacob put himself in the reticle, unfortunately.
It's no one's fault. got to be someone's fault, James. I must blame someone.
It's your fault. So we have Faze coming in for the force buy. 3 rifles, one of them is an AWP, and only 4 players have armor. Fox is not one of those guys. Going for the fast play. MSL, oh, he's against the numbers game. Nothing's going to work out, and Rubino has to retreat here. There are players coming in from all over the place. He cannot afford to go down. He's got support from Cajun B. Rubino, though, the pistol may be enough for him, and Faze have to back off because Kishima's the front man, and he's only got 23 HP. Less than ideal. Not a good trade for Faze either. Man advantage, Dignitas.
Yeah, and there's no money for Faze, so they must get a bomb plant if they're going to lose the round. If they want to have anything to take into the next round and deny Dignitas the 3rd map. That is so important. And right now it's going to be a lot about how Fox is going to open things up for his team. One commodity they do have in their favor at the moment is the round time. They've got a minute to play with, so there is something to, some things to prod and pry with. Well, Rain as well, he's now prodding a little bit as well. And he can't find anything too easily just yet. Faze need to start getting something done here, and Fox is going to be the man to try to do it. Nice timing grenade to slow things down, but Fox, oh my god, he finds such a long-range shot there. Right place, right time, and now Faze might have just gotten the kill that they needed to try to win this round.
They have potential to get another one. Tensky's over by the barrel area. They can boost Fox over the fence, and maybe he can get a pick there. You can get a pick if Rain moves to his right past the sandbags as well. You can see Tensky moving into position, and now Faze have the numbers here to try and clean up that area. Smoking off the site, they're going to try and get a desperate plant in because they've got 15 seconds, but Tensky is positioning himself. If he can stop this plant from coming in, then maybe they win the round, but he can't do it. Spraying through, he will find nothing. Meanwhile, Rain gets taken down by Config, so they've got the man advantage here, and we've got heavily tagged players on the T side. 9 HP between 2 players. Kishima coming in with a CZ, can't get the important second frag. Fox forced to reposition here with the AWP, but they know how dangerous he can be, and they will try to work together rather than go for the hero defuse. Can Fox make the right decision here? Can he take down the cover? He can, and now it's down to Rubino. Can he go for the hero defuse? He's going to try to do it. Fox is a non-believer, and Rubino's going to make it. And you hear how much that means to Dignitas. That put themselves on game point. They can take this to Mirage if they can win one more round.
Oh my god, Fox almost clutched that with 7 points of health. Oh man, the spray from Tensky as well, just missing. Well, I mean, he hit a lot, but he didn't get any frags there. That was unbelievable. What a crazy round that was. And Dignitas just one away from securing the next map. And that's going to be very important going forwards now. I mean, they have to make sure they don't mess this one up, though, because Fox has an AWP in this round. There are a couple AKs. There are grenades as well, so there is a lot to work with for Faze here, and we might see a bit of a faster pace from them after that, very slow round. And AZ's going to be the point man here towards the toilets area, and again, spotting no one. This is a very common setup that Dignitas have run. 3 man on B, leaving A open except long. And Faze once again find this this opening, but this time instead of with pistols, they got guns.
Yeah, this is pulling a rotation from the B area, but AZ's got to be really careful now because the big man Cajun B, oh, the Molotov has gone the wrong direction. That could have forced AZ into the open, but it's going to fail. And that's going to be a bit of a warning here to Faze. But again, we've got 3 CTs in position now. Shots being rattled off, but nothing connecting just yet. But again, AZ's got to be very careful. Flash is coming in as well. Can they smoke off the front of the site? AZ's kind of stuck using Fox's bait. And Fox, how does he walk in and get that headshot? That's completely ridiculous. We may have overtime on our hands here, but Rubino has other ideas, taking Rain down from long.
Yeah, MSL's there on the site as well. He's rejoined his comrades. Jakem's going to wrap around the side. Oh, the backstab is going to be coming in there as Jakem picks up the AWP. And what can he get done with this? Tensky's going to spot a shoulder and promptly shoot it off. And now it is going to just be down to Fox against 3 with 10 HP. Surely it's not to be for him at this point. It's 30 seconds. He's got to get the bomb. There's so many players and just not enough to work with. Dignitas will barely scrape through 16 to 14. Unbelievable.
The triple peak coming in there from Dignitas to take their team to the 3rd map, Mirage. But Faze did a very good job on Overpass, a map they have basically no statistics on in this entire year, and that does not bode well for Dignitas moving into map 3. Strong Faze team coming in. They have one final test. Can Dignitas make it on TV tomorrow? We will find out after the break.
Welcome back. Well, don't say it couldn't happen. Team Dignitas pick Overpass. Didn't look great on it, but did just enough when it mattered right at the end to take this to a third map in this semi-final. I'm joined by Moses and Thorin. Let's break this one down. So I actually thought for a while, I thought Faze was going to do this. They looked very comfortable. They had that great first half, and then Dignitas just slowly chipped away and managed to drag themselves back into this tie.
I mean, it just shows why this map right now for Faze is something they frequently ban out, because you can see that T side. I mean, it just goes back where other maps, they're starting to look like they have some basic teamwork going on, some good trading and everything. Their T side on this map just wasn't very strong. I mean, they had a great CT side, 11-4. You think that's going to be enough, but they just seemed lost and confused when that defense from Dignitas just kind of stood tall, went on a big run there, and they just kind of didn't have any ideas to fall back on. They didn't have a plan B. They didn't have anything else to transition into.
Yeah, for me, the CT side just shows that the disparity really is like the skill is on the side of the Faze guys. They're really, really playing quite well. AZ again, Rain actually had a fantastic map for most of it.
Oh, yeah.
Even on T side, considering it's a map they don't play, I've actually been impressed all Eleague long with the discipline of the guys from Faze on the T side. They do trade well, they do like kind of prod and probe as to where they're going to go. They're never too hasty, but I think the key to winning this map for Dignitas is when they were on CT side, the way they would use Rubino pushed up. He got so many times in behind people, able to get trades himself, and so yeah, I think they did a really good job on this site on the A1.
I think it's important to note as well, though, that this map that Dignitas wins, they do it with Config, they do it with Cajun at the bottom of the scoreboard. Those two players are supposed to be their stars, and they get away with that because it's Overpass, because it's a map where FaZe very obviously didn't have any kind of great plan of attack. Going into the last map, they're not going to be able to do that. I mean, it's got to be Cajun or Config. They've got to get higher on the scoreboard. They've got to have more of an impact.
Yeah.
You can't have someone like MSL topping the scoreboard on a third map of a deciding series.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the importance of the scoreboard, and I've got a round put to one side, which we'll get to in a moment, which will illustrate that it's not always super important, but I just wanted to highlight just kind of, Rain went absolutely bonkers this map. This is one of the more solid performances that we saw from him. This is the kind of performance that made him stand out as one of the best players when he initially went and joined this team.
Well, I mean, if you saw in the interview before the game, which I think must have been from MLG Columbus, because it was when Makaleli was still in the team, he actually claimed that Rain's the best player in the world, which I think that's a little bit of teammate exuberance there, enthusiasm, we might say.
Dare we suggest it?
But certainly a very complete player. I mean, a very well-rounded guy, a guy who can do all sorts of different things in the game. And when his game is on, he has that kind of control style, where he wins clutches, he can take you one by one. And so he was close to pushing them over the top on a map that actually they had no business winning on paper. Yeah, I think you've seen, it's weird, in a loss, there's a lot of positive things you can say about FaZe. They just looked very good over the whole week.
And bizarrely, it was MSL who topped the scoreboards for Dignitas. It's not often you get to say that. Now, to this round that I've picked out for us, it was round 27. Now, Cajun B had a pretty lackluster game. I think he's had a pretty lackluster time in Eleague, frankly. But he did come up clutch here. This was where, if they lose this round, Dignitas, they have no money. It's pretty much game over here. And he got just some huge kills.
And this is a map he actually did. He was very good on when even Strauss and TSM. I remember a couple matches where we went huge for his team, and he was always that one player who would always just do solid. He would be very dependable, and then one map he would just go off and he would dominate for that team. Now, I mean that's just a good stand there, and actually it surprised me. That's just a testament to how strong Dignitas' CT side was, or how weak FaZe's T side was. That they actually that was their third full buy in a row. They had built up so much money during a winning streak that they were able to even have that buy in that kind of a situation for 3 rounds. That actually very much surprised me. That was incredible.
Yeah, and even though Rubino as well didn't have a particularly, again, remarkable game, some of the rounds he sort of clutched for them and came up and made important kills, really kept them in it. So it's a bit of a strange performance there for Dignitas overall. Nobody really leapt out as being amazing, but everybody had that key round.
That's what feels like the concern for Dignitas. You want to be like, right, they won the round, it's gutsy performance, good, going to Mirage, you're good on that map as well. Sadly, you look at that performance there and you go, you really kind of exploited the inexperience of FaZe on it and kind of used every trick you had in the book on the CT side of Overpass to get interesting positions. So going into the third one, I'm still feeling FaZe, to be honest. Like I think it's going to be a lot harder for Dignitas to do that on Mirage.
Well, I mean, they're not going to win Mirage. They're not going to win any third map with their 2 biggest stars. Well, let me finish the sentence, Duncan.
Okay.
With their 2 biggest stars at the bottom of the scoreboard. I mean, they can't have Config and Cajun being that low, not having as much of an impact.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about Rain. I think that performance is worth some time in the spotlight. We've got a little highlight package here. I'll start with you, Jason. What really stood out about this performance for you?
I mean, this was the Rain that we were starting to see when they were what, Kinguin leading up to Cluj last year. Is like, you know, this is when they started being, they had a couple big upsets over Virtus Pro on Train, on Cash. You know, you started to see those two maps, and it was Rain who had some of the biggest highlights, who had some of those, you know, amazing clutches, who was putting all the numbers up. And then, you know, after Cluj, it seemed like he got into a little bit of, you know, role confusion, where he started in-game leading for the team, he started testing that out, and he kind of faded away. Then he, you know, started to come back into just being a player with no leading, and so now it just seems in general that with this team, that's always been the thing, was, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen. That's always how we would describe them. Now it's all starting to get figured out, and everyone's kind of elevated because of it.
Well, anything just to add to that, Tucker, before we go to break?
Yeah, I think the resurgence of Rain kind of fits in with everyone else. I mean, you see the resurgence of AZ, even Fox in a game like that didn't have a great game, but he still contributed on the odd AWP frag. It feels like the roles are actually set now, which is the one thing they didn't have. It was just a collection of players. Now they've got roles, and it's a team.
Well, I've heard a rumour they might be more successful than Virtus Pro this year. Let's see if they can start proving that right with a win over Dignitas.
Not after a map like that.
One more map to go. It will be Mirage. It's the decider. Do join us after the break. So, thanks for coming back, and you can see this is confirmation of what we had a little bit earlier in the day. Fnatic beating TSM, but it was 2-1, not 2-0 as many had predicted, and Faze and Dignitas are tied in their semi-final as well. That one will also go the distance. They're playing, of course, for a place on the televised finals tomorrow. And now we move on to Mirage. Dignitas were one of the kind of pace setters on this map. There's always been a map that's been good to them. Faze less so. But it's got to be said, Dignitas haven't looked like that team since the addition of Cage and B. So how do we see this one going? Just some quick predictions from you guys.
Faze already beat him on this 16-6. To be Fnatic on its 16-8, I see no reason to go against Faze.
Yeah, I'm going to take Faze as well. I think strong CT side. They've got the kind of skill advantage on their side, I think.
All right, well, thanks for that, gentlemen. We'll do our map fly through and bring you for the final time today, James and DDK.
So on a map that is not one of Faze's favourites, Overpass, they get themselves 14 rounds on the board. What can they do here on Mirage? You saw the history, or you heard the history, as the analyst desk mentioned. Dignitas, maybe they're in better form. They are quite adept on their T side, but we're yet to see that on their favoured maps. Will this be the time they prove us wrong then?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because, again, as pointed out, we haven't really seen the kinds of strategies and the kind of pace that they used to be really known for. So that's something that I would love to see brought out in this matchup. And first things first, it's up to the Pistols. It's up to the headshots. Dignitas will be making their way in from the palace there. They'll be meeting Stray Kiyoshima. He's going to run into this one. He's going to find one headshot. There's more to be had here, though, as he will back away safely. He's got a lot of health as well. This is not the entry that the Dignitas side wanted. They are getting decimated right now. Kiyoshima's still in position. Now it's just, well, never mind. This says Cajun B left, but Kiyoshima wrecks him as well.
4K for Kiyoshima. Very nicely done, sir. Very nicely done indeed. That is a strong start for Faze on their CT side. Not the start Dignitas wanted, not the one they needed. Is it the one they deserved? Up to you to decide. They're going for the force buy. 4 players with Kevlar. Tensky with a helmet and a Deagle. Since he got a kill, he can get both. The rest will be reduced. MSL, though, has nades and a Tech 9, and not much else. No Kevlar for him. So what can Dignitas do with this? Lots of players, they might be moving in for a split towards A. MSL, let's see what he's lining up here. Normally, he stands there and he puts a smoke towards the connector area, but it seems he might not want to do that, deciding to put it into the window instead, it seems. Or maybe he's waiting to see what becomes, well, not needed now because Fox gets taken down, but it seems to be going over towards short.
Yeah, that's a nice first kill, isn't it? I mean, now there's actually something to work with. The problem is, though, for Faze, is that they don't really have any grenades themselves. There's no more smokes or incendiaries to rely upon. Dignitas have essentially gone into this position where they have a man advantage, and they want to be using the man advantage just generally anyway by just rushing 5 players into a bomb site because they have just pistols. So this doesn't actually look too bad from them. They just have to find a nice entry point. And is that entry point going to be connector? Is it going to be window? Because right now that's what it looks like. And we're going to see another nade tossed in there to block off jungle, and here they go. AZ's there though with the P90, but he is dispatched promptly now as KGB gets another one with the help of Tensky actually. And just 2 players left here. Someone needs to die for Dignitas. Everyone is still alive. This is a complete catastrophe for FaZe. Only Jaken's left standing at the moment. And for how long is that going to be the case as he gets found out now? Gonna get a couple kills in there. This is really important. But what else can he do? Looks like he's going to try to back away now, and FaZe that they got blown up this round.
They did indeed, and this is the Dignitas we want to see. Executing, making the right decisions, and getting the kills, most importantly. So it is going to be 1-1, you can see. High spirits in the Dignitas camp now as we go to the last map. This is a crucial one. The winner of this makes it onto the telly, Dan. Onto the telly. Faze going for the force buy now, forcing back and forth. 4 CZs coming out. I believe Kishima has a 5-7 equipped, but he's going for the P250. And you can see Mirage is Dignitas' map with the most wins, 95 wins. They are a drilled team on this map, Dan. Though they didn't show us that on previous performances this week on Mirage. Maybe they will this time. The numbers game coming out into mid for both teams, but the CZs will reign supreme. 3 kills there. MSL trying to answer back with what he can. Only 1 for him, though. Dignitas on another anti-force by Mirage, not going well.
Yeah, Rubino is there on the bomb site, though. It's a nice position to be in for Dignitas. However, the bomb needs to make it over there, and MSL's been spotted. Quick kill, though, for MSL takes down Jacob, and that's going to allow him a 3 path to get himself towards that bomb spot. But actually, Rubino's in some trouble now, down to 15 points of health. Kiyoshima with just 9 bullets. Will he be able to get the kill here? Ooh, just about there. Able to swap out for the rifle, but he's going to get the reload in. MSL knows he's there. And quick, oh no! MSL pulls out a grenade. Something there wasn't a gun. And Kiyoshima takes full advantage. And you can see that FaZe are elated with this 2-1.
I don't know, man. You should know better, and that makes me wonder if the confidence is there. You know where he is. You've got a gun. Go and shoot him, right? It's a gamble to pull a grenade out in that situation. It leaves you vulnerable. And there we go. FaZe win their force, and Dignitas will force straight back. How many forces, how many trades will we continue to have? Aggression coming in from FaZe in the middle area. Nades as well. MSL, not long for this world, perhaps. He's got 8 HP, and Tensky's been taken down as well. And MSL soon dispatched of Cajun B. Quick to follow. Config and Rubino wondering what the hell is going on in this round.
Yeah, right now there's not much going in their way. The bomb is now being discovered as well, and they know where Rubino is. And if they wanted, they could just play perfect positions around the bomb to just force Rubino into a spot that's impossible for him to win. They don't need to go and push him right now. And Dignitas, they had such a good start. They had such a good start, and it's all going wrong. now that Faze are starting to build some money here, and if they don't lose anybody else, that's going to be a really nice situation for them because Dignitas can't really buy in the following rounds. And that means that Faze can start to get that money and they can start to get Fox on the AWP. And well, let's see if Rubino can do something. He's got a minute to play with to try to salvage the situation. And Faze are just waiting, playing it sneaky in their hidey holes. And Rubino will make his progress slowly but surely towards the bomb. And Rain will spot him. Timely peek. The frag comes in and 3 members will indeed survive.
Bumpy start for both teams, but perhaps Faze have righted the ship. Dignitas down to $2,000 now. And they will have little choice but to go for an eco, so the trading of rounds has ceased for the time being. Again, this is a round with no nades coming in here for the T side, so one can't expect much to be done. And we'll see what they choose to do. Passive play for now, trying to maybe catch an aggressive Faze player towards mid, but Faze know what that consecutive round means, and they will take the range advantage.
Indeed, and Fox needs to make sure he doesn't overextend here. Yeah, there's a lot of juicy eco frags, but I'm going to get too confident. That's why, because the range is just appalling. That is not a good play there from Fox. Could have just let them have middle. Instead, now they're going to boost up and see what they can get done. And the problem also is that AZ, you can see, he's got to look at 2 spots at once, and that is not ideal, because if the timing doesn't work out correctly, he can get punished there, but they will change positions. They're going to get aggressive into middle here. This is madness here from Faze, but they're going to pull it off with great coordination, coming in from 3 sides at once.
Again, mid is an area you can throw a flash into from the A bomb site. Config trying to get a desperate plant, trying to get some bonus money for his team, but Rain is forcing the aggression, and now Rain can just bide his time there while the rest of the team rotate and make life very difficult for Config indeed. No more kills for the Dignitas team, only one person getting taken there.
So James, this is kind of something we've actually seen quite a few times there. You know, that peek on mid there from Fox. You're against pistols, at close range, it's a one-shot kill. Fox, you know, happily walks into that range against 3 or 4 players after he's already spotted them. You know, these kinds of mistakes, these kinds of lapses of focus can really give the edges to, you know, what Dignitas can eventually abuse. And I mean, him losing that money, it may not look like much now, but it may play into the factors later on. Because Fox is the guy that spends the most money. He's the guy that buys the AWP, so he needs to maintain that economy. And it looks like these early aggressions here, Cajun suddenly finding his form again. 2 entry frags towards the slope, but Dignitas, they know they have time. They are going to sit on this advantage.
That is a problem for Faze. I think they left the slope open so they could play a deep 2-man setup here, a crossfire. Well, not a crossfire, but a setup. But didn't work out for them. Dignitas coming in aggressive. And you can use Molotovs and such to force players up, but it's very hard to clear them from that entire area. So, 2-man advantage for Dignitas early, and they've got a minute 10 on the clock to decide what they want to do. Their players are in good positions, so they have a lot of options available to them. They've got some smokes as well, so they can obscure their positions from their opponents. And they're trying to creep towards the B-bomb site. Going to work out so far, but Jacob has taken MSL down, and indeed, he can try and slow down the advance while the CTs come in. Another frag for him, unanswered by Dignitas. Finally, Rubino to get the frag, but Rain is in position now, and he's the last man standing for Faze. Trying to stop the bomb from going down with the Molotov and gets himself a nice 1 versus 1. Both players remaining for Dignitas are heavily tagged. Gets the knife out to rotate, but surprise, Cajun B's behind him. Another round on the board for Dignitas.
Yeah, the Clutch Master Rain is not going to be pulling off any of those shenanigans anytime soon. Dignitas will make sure of that. And this is where things really start to come together. Oh, such clean, crisp shots there from Cajun, and that's going to really make the difference there. So Dignitas with that decisive victory are going to be now creating a situation where Faze's money is starting to get a bit destabilized. They don't have an AWP, they are lacking on grenades, and well, again, it's a situation where Fox hadn't died earlier. He would probably have an AWP now. Either way, we have Dignitas taking that mid-control with a couple players. They want to split onto the A-bomb side. That is fairly clear at the moment. But what they need to do is need to take control of Connector first. And that's what MSL is here to do. He starts to edge his way up middle. And if AZ and Fox, with this flashbang, can get the frags, that's going to make a massive effort towards stopping the push from hitting A properly. Oh, that's a really nice way to do it. MSL's dead, and they know what's going on now, I think. Kiyoshima goes down the ladder, finds himself a Tensky. Oh, but he doesn't get anything there, just some damage.
The re-smoking palace will be a problem, but Cajun B, yeah, he's going to get punished as he comes out of it. The bomb's down in the middle of the site here, but there's a man advantage for Dignitas. There's a smoke down in jungle, which means they can go for the short plant because they are covered by the smoke, and they've got Config in position. So he's going to be the big red button, the emergency situation here as Jacob comes in for the flank in T-spawn. So again, we've got Rubino who's going to face eventually, even if he goes down, though, Config's in a good spot, but Rubino's going to win the duel, so Config doesn't need to reveal his position just yet. Rain has no idea where he is, and Config's moved into a more advanced position, so Rain is in a bit of a crossfire here. But again, he can get himself a 1 versus 1. Not going to get the frag, though. Dignitas starts to claw back, and Faze had nothing left in the bank here. They've got problems coming through.
Yeah, they really do, and right now it's going to be quite cool to see whether this... we're going to see the Rubino of the week, because, he's been a little bit more quiet in the last map, but... As you can see, he's been having a pretty firm effect in this match so far. The 88 ADR, the average damage per round, showing his impact. There is a quick smoke there to go onto the catwalk, so an important one. And now we're going to see also Jacob just sneaking in. Faze obviously on an eco buy now, so if Jacob going to get a sneaky frag, that would be nice. And here they go, he finds one. There's not to be a second, but that might be, that's good damage nonetheless.
Yeah, he slows down the opposition, and that allows a rotation to come in, because there was nobody on one of these sites here for Faze, but they've sorted that out. You can see Config has done a very nice job of disposing of that gun. Very important little detail to be aware of there. And you can often find when the team with the weaker buy gets a kill like that, they might have people come searching for those scraps, so to have them taken away is very important. But it can also be used as bait in this occasion. On this occasion, it'll be disposed of, and Dignitas will move elsewhere. The whole team now bunching up to try and clear out these ecoing players from Faze, who continue to move all over the place.
Yeah, but this combined push should be strong enough to batter down the defense. That is Faze at the moment, and just those pistols indeed. Kyoshima spotted, providing a little bit of nuisance. What is this though? He picks up an AK, but not for long, as the rest of the unit start to march their way into the site, and that will be that. Dignitas put an end to the eco round of Faze, and now it's back to the buy for the Faze clan. They don't have an AWP on Fox again, and it really makes a big difference for Fox. He's so much better of a player when he has the sniper rifle. But he's relegated to these M4s, and this is the second time this is the case.
Yeah, that said, I think this is one of his least effective maps. It's one of the harder ones to be really good on as an AWPer, because the T's have so many ways to harass you with that particular smoke in the middle of mid and what they can do around it. So we'll see how things continue for both teams. 4-4 is the score. Nades lacking on the Faze clan at present, so Dignitas with some opportunity, but again, we've seen a lot of difficult maps here from a number of teams where rounds have continually been traded. Jacob may find himself in a difficult situation. Jack in the box coming through. Rubino ready and waiting for that one, and the split is on, but the bomb has gone all the way into ladder room, and there are nades here for Rain. He's got a 2-man, that's crucial. So the map control for Dignitas on B is irrelevant, because that smoke is all that matters here. That smoke is a brick wall right now, and it is being replenished here by Faze with a man advantage and the bomb in a horrible, suicidal position for Dignitas.
Yeah, Faze must be laughing right now, losing the bomb site, but still having control of the most important thing. And there's a minute to play with, but what on earth do Dignitas do? They do have grenades. They've got a Molotov on Cajun B, so there is a way to attack this if they take their time. But they might be having to go for elimination, because this is probably going to take quite some time here. Let's see if they can make it work. They do have a smoke of their own. If they can throw a forward smoke, they can isolate the player in the ladder room. That would be a good play. AZ's ready for the movement there, but Rubino's the guy to hit the shot. Nice entry frag from him. And Ray's going to be sitting there looking for the shots. This spray comes in, just one. And Kyoshima able to clean out the presence in middle, but the bomb can be taken here by Tensky, but he's alone. He's got 20 seconds. He's got 29 health as well. But he should be able to be clear for this, but there is a player coming. It's Kyoshima. And he is making his way in from the apartments, and this surely should sign the demise of Tensky. Let's see, though, if he can pull out a miracle here. He's been in many clutch situations so far. This is one of the most important ones to Dignitas. He can't get the first kill, and that's going to be it there for Faze. They'll pick up the round there with the defuse, and a critical problem there in losing that bomb on ladder room. You don't see that every day.
Indeed, it just bounces at the feet of Rain with a massive 2K there. And the bomb could have gone into Apps instead. Who knows why it ended up in that position, but it's a precarious one, dancing down short, and didn't work out for Dignitas, well, at least at that stage. But they made it, well, Didn't work out at all. Faze take the round, and that is a crucial round where their economy was in a very difficult spot. Dignitas back on the buy, however, that plant will be a bonus. MSL onto the Galil, so you can see that the Dignitas side are within the constraints of their economy. Again, the standard smoke coming in there, continuing to make life a bit of a pain for the mid player Fox. Dignitas will take their initial map control. We'll see if they start to go to some of their more default rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas, after making a mistake in having the bomb on the wrong person, they need to make sure that doesn't get to them. And this is a much more classic sort of Dignitas round here, where you see that connected control coming in. Rupino, though, he's going to open up again, taking down Azy, but Kiyoshima's still in position. Great flash from a teammate, and that's going to give Kiyo another frag. Fox still holding down jungle there. Good dink onto Config, but still Config gets another kill. What is this? Jacob now needs to get both players, and he's got full health to do so. And they need to get the bomb. They're going to make the cross onto the site. And Jacob's wondering now, are they going for the rotation? Because that is very possible. It's all about the mind games. It's all about the guessing. And what will Jacob guesstimate in this situation? Of course, it's going to be tough regardless of what happens here, because he's going to be in a 2 versus 1. But if he does get there before the bomb goes down, then obviously that's going to be a big advantage. It looks like he's going to go back to connector here. So the bomb will be going down, and they can take any positions they want. They won't know this, though, but they can predict the most likely spot for Jacob to be, which is this kind of area, because it's the safest sort of area to be in.
Okay, the penny has finally dropped, and he will make his way over to the correct side. Just checking his 6, making sure there's nobody coming in from the back, and now he has to figure out where the crossfire might be. One player spotted, that's Config, but he's going to get a sharp shot straight in the head. So, things tied up once again. Trading rounds has been part of the message of the day here. Both teams 3 rounds in a row, then the trades come in. That's going to tarnish the economy for a lot of people. Faze have little choice but to go for an eco here, but we have a particular item being bought there. 5 HEs coming in for the side, and then money's a bit of a mixed bag now. Rain has pretty much gone for the force, so is Jacob for the most part. The rest of the team leaving something in the hole, and we have the nades flying in at top mid, but passive positions being held by Dignitas. They've got the numbers to hold there as well. Rain doing what he can with a CZ, and we've got nades coming back. Oh, that's a bad nade actually from the CTs. Causing damage to one of their own players, and they've given up on their mid push. 3 more players to find, but Dignitas' patience has paid off.
Yeah, they had the mid-read, actually, which was pretty nice, but shame about the nade timings. Although Dignitas are going to be quite happy with that. They got 5 players alive. It's very hard to mess this kind of a round up. You just have to go together onto a bomb site at this point, play the trades correctly, play the nades correctly, and you are good to go. You can leave Config in mid as well if they want to catch any rotation. Oh, God, that is absolutely savage there from Kiyo. Able to take down MSL with a P250. He will get smoked off, though. And this could get kind of interesting if they end up going towards B, which it looks like they will, because that is where the remaining 2 players are in. 2 CZs, you can't count them out just yet. In goes Rain for the first frag. Oh, can't get it though. Tensky jumping headshot onto Rain. Jacob eliminated with ease as well, and that's going to be another round for Dignitas. 6-5, and these teams are going backwards and forwards here, but the momentum seems to be with Dignitas at the moment, as Faze need another save.
It's good to see Dignitas actually having success on their T side of Mirage. We've seen what they're capable of on this particular map. Again, they haven't shown it this week so far, but when it counts in the last map of this best of 3 to face Fnatic tomorrow, they are doing well at the moment. Faze will need more rounds on their CT side, although their T sides can be quite savage, but that is a while away yet, and they are back on an eco with pistols and a HE grenade. Spent a lot of cash in the previous round on those grenades and pistols and such. And, indeed, they will be on another eco now.
And nice double peek there coming in from Dignitas. Cool little coordination from them. And again, this is a lot about just playing solid anti-eco rounds. You know you're up against the pistols. You want to play the ranges, you want to play together, and you want to use those grenades to remove their advantages, which would be close range. And slowly but surely, Dignitas working into control into middle at the moment. Looks like a failed smoke. Very nice. Jacob will get a bit damaged there as well. Gets a tag and actually a kill as well. And that's always a little bit annoying, but I don't think Dignitas will be too worried. Although Kiyoshima able to get a nice deagle shot there. And now there's just 3 players left here. And there's still 2 deagles alive, so definitely cause for worry for Dignitas.
Vision of the bomb means problems for Dignitas, and the bomb continues to rest on short here, and they don't have any players in position, and you can see AZ is close. Look at the clock. There are 40 seconds on the clock here. Dignitas need to go and get that bomb, and AZ just waiting for them, going to get punished for doing so. Maybe this will speed up the remainder of Dignitas, but which site will they choose? Still a gamble to be made there. Tensky going through the underpass tells you where they are headed. Rotation coming in from Faze as well, but only one of the players. Again, 20 seconds on the clock now. Kiyashima on the site, trying to slow these players down, but he can do no more. Rain out of position with a mere USP, spotted by Cajun B, and the rest of the round should be safe here for Dignitas. Maybe Rain can collect himself some better weaponry, picks up a CZ, maybe an AK to be had as well. He will be scooping up all the freebies and making a quick exit.
Yeah, and that's a nice freebie to get, especially considering all the rounds they've lost in a row. This is going to be the third in a row, so that's going to be $2,400 for them, in addition to what they currently have, which will be ranging between $5,000 and $6,000 for them. And that's a really nice place to be in. But having that extra AK means that Rain's going to have a little bit better economy later on, and that always can count for something. And Faze, how do they play this now? I feel like a mix-up on the setup would be good. It would be nice to see Fox buying an AWP and going to short, because you were right. It's always very hard. Fox always has poor games when he's trying to AWP and force it on middle and connect, because teams are so good, especially Dignitas, at denying him with smokes. But when we've seen him play from short, that could be a different story, because short is harder to deny the AWPer there, generally speaking. So that could be a nice way to mix things up. And he has indeed gone for the AWP, but maybe he's going to play okay, spawns kind of suck, so he's not going to play for a spawn. Let's see how Fox goes for this. He's going to go straight to mid, James.
Dignitas coming out with 3 people towards the A site. Might be going for a fast play here. Normally you see MSL, he's going to be the smoke man towards mid, but he's not in mid. So something different is planned here by Dignitas, and they indeed have a fast execute towards the A site, but there are 2 people rather than the normal one lurker coming through mid here. Dignitas haven't made their way through the choke points yet, and that's allowing the CTs to rotate. That is a problem. They're still in the choke points, and Rain is in position towards connector. This might not work out well. That's a very important frag for config, but when is the push coming in? Cajun B takes down AZ as well, and the Faze team are being completely wiped out. Jacob alone versus 4. It has paid off for Dignitas.
Yeah, Rain had to hit something there. I mean, if he gets that first kill, he's probably getting the second as well from that position, and now Faze are in a lot of trouble. I mean, okay, they've got a round loss bonus building up, but Dignitas starting to take the amount of rounds that they need to just basically take the, potentially take the third map. I mean, saw the analyst there saying, okay, Faze, they've got this, they've been, hot lately, they've been playing better lately, and that is true. But Dignitas, if they play to their potential, are always going to be contenders for any situation. And we're excited to see that now as we go 8-5 and the Faze need a save. So a bit of a half buy from them, perhaps. And a beautiful entry. That was the one that really counted there. That really destabilized the defense. Because we had 4 players there from Faze. They knew what was going on.
The way this half is going at the moment for Faze, they are going to need their players blasting their way through their T half. If they only get 5 rounds on their CT side, then there's going to be a lot of pressure on their shoulders. 9-5 looks likely here because we only have these pistols for Faze. AZ seems curious, and he is in the middle of mid at the moment. He has a player on short, but not really there for support, and it seems they're waiting. Fox is going to be the initial aggressor from the window, and we may see Dignitas walking into a trap here.
Yeah, the trap is set, but will it be sprung? Looks like the bait's there, and AC is going to do his damage. 2 kills there coming in, and Rain is available for a third. And now all of a sudden a 3 versus 2 ensues, and Dignitas are left wondering what the hell just happened. The bomb is there, it needs to be collected by Tensky. He'll be able to do that pretty much for free. But the problem, for here for Faze is that they can't really easily collect those weapons. That's basically the issue.
That is a beautiful setup from Faze in the mid area with very little utility. So they've got the man advantage here, and Dignitas are in mid. That exposes them to multiple places. They're just biding their time at the moment. Jacob just about being spotted, but will he choose to engage here? Trying to get back into apps. Maybe that was the wrong choice. Tensky waiting to take him down, and that might be a B play here for the T's. Or will they go to A? Both the Faze players who remain are spread out at the moment, no crossfire coming in, but they have sound cues and they might realize what's going on here. Rubino trying to clear all the areas. Shadow, I'm not sure if it's been checked just yet. We have one player moving towards CT spawn on his own, and indeed he will go down. Rubino trying to go for the plant on his own now, and the crossfire comes in. Faze steal a round from Dignitas.
Yeah, that is a massive round to win. And to be honest, the thing is, it's a great setup, but you have to have a guy like AZ in that position to connect those shots. That was wonderful stuff. And then Rain long range with the CZ on unlikely occurrence. And that's one thing, Dignitas have been building up a lot of momentum. They've been looking better. They've been gaining some confidence. And that's the kind of round where you're really going to feel like you should not have lost that. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not that's going to really hurt Dignitas as we move forward, or whether they've, have learned from some of the past games here. They can keep their composure. I mean, Faze, that means a lot. We can hear the cheer from them. That is just pure confidence they'll be going in forwards with, because as you say, they will avoid that 10-5 situation, will Faze. They got 6 rounds, they could get 7, but will they? We're gonna find out. First, we'll take a quick break. Well, rip Steam, James. It seems like it has exploded on us, but hopefully that will be resolved quickly. Because this match has been quite intense, and Dignitas have suddenly found quite a resurgence. Although despite their resurgence and moving into this third map, they've been doing a lot better. Suddenly, Faze look like they might be able to scrape away some advantages that could take them over the edge. Yes,
we saw a nice steal of a round towards the end there. There's still 1 round of the half to go, but we've got some highlights of from the beginnings here. Getting Kishima with a 4K in the pistol round. That was pretty monstrous stuff by him. A great start for Faze, but then obviously losing the round after that was going to be a problem. We saw trades from both sides there, so it was a bit of a difficult half, but again, that Dignitas started to get some momentum, started to show why they are considered a good team on Mirage, why they are considered to have some good T strats. But speaking of strats, that eco round from Faze later on was that was divine, Dan. It was divine indeed.
Oh, so, yeah.
And it was a round Faze needed. I don't know if 6 rounds is enough for Faze going into the second half, but only time will tell. Again, if they can get their momentum going, they can be very, very nasty on their T side, especially with Kishima in tow.
This music is amazing, James. I am mesmerized.
This got to be one from Jason's collection, Dan.
It absolutely.
I'm hearing those 80s sounds.
The chip tunes. Well, I mean, this is going to be interesting right now. I mean, if we look at some of the performances from both teams, that's been a big problem for the Dignitas side. We saw consistency from Rubino, but, Config, as you can see here, 14 for 9. He's been adding a great great, strength to his lineup and winning some of these key clutch situations. We saw some of it there in the highlights, and that individual skill is needed against the likes of Faze, because they have been winning most of their rounds because of the fact that they have that edge. That is going to be usually their edge. Strategically, Dignitas are supposed to be their betters. So if you've got players like Config firing off, and that's what he's there on the team to do, then Dignitas are going to have a good time. But they've got to take it over the edge here. And I feel like it is going to be pretty up in the air, because they move into the CT side. They're going to have to react to the fast-paced play. Yeah,
there's one round left in this half. And when we get into the second, I'm so curious to see if the Dignitas side can hold versus the sheer violence that is to come from Faze. But before we get into the second half, we will have that one more round here to decide. Is it going to be 9-6 or is it going to be an 8-7? How many, do you have a favorite for the second half here, Dan?
I think it's very hard to say because of the fact that Dignitas will be reacting. The thing with their team is that it's always been about them getting the damage in on their T side, and then if they can get a decent enough start on the CT side, then okay, they've won the match or allowed themselves to have the space to win the match because of the merit of the T side. So I really feel like they do need to get at least 9 on the board here moving forwards to have a solid chance to put them in favor. Otherwise, I feel like it could be quite up in the air, because we have seen that Faze do have some strategy on this map. It's not like we can really close the book on them in that sense. They have a lot of good dynamic rounds to go to that could catch Dignitas off guard, because they've designed those rounds with the skill sets of their players in mind, right? The heavy-hitting, fast-playing players such as Kiyoshima, they like to throw him in there, as well as players like AZ and Jacob. Just get them in the action, and that's what is scary about Faze.
While we wait for this technical Steam issue to be resumed, we're going to have a quick look at the Fnatic game from earlier. It was another three-mapper, a surprise three-mapper against TSM. Again, TSM managed to get that odd map here and there against some of the best teams in the world, like Luminosity on Cobblestone. And obviously Fnatic doing great work here, but TSM got a lot of rounds once more.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how Fnatic were having a bit of trouble here in finding their feet. And you could definitely see on their faces afterwards they weren't happy in the way that they won that, much like we had in the previous week with Astralis and CLG, where Astralis were able to win, but it just didn't go in the way in which they expected it to, and they have such high expectations of themselves. But one of the cool things to see is that Olofmeister can still play. This is pretty much the same Fnatic in many senses as the pre-injury Olofmeister, but they're still finding the groove again, because we can't forget that they have made changes since he was gone. And finding that groove again does take some time. But TSM, they show that once they got some more experience and some more routine, they are quite scary. And we started to see players like Sick and Automatic unleash themselves, showing that they can play, take aim duels against some of the best aimers in the world.
Yeah, they did themselves a solid today, Dan. They did themselves a solid. And indeed, the fact that they got a map off Fnatic is somewhat crazy. I know Fnatic weren't happy with their performances. I think it was JW saying that they're coming into tomorrow's final 200%. But talk is cheap, Dan, so we'll have to see. But who will be joining them? We will find out soon enough. But again, it was nice work by TSM. They had a good lead here on Mirage earlier on today. FNS putting in work as well. So, it was great. And again, TSM had clearly done their homework. They had clearly studied the demos from the week's matches, and they had adjusted and improved and had hard counters to some of the Fnatic plays. I think on the last map, they went for a YOLO 5-man push on the pistol to the wrong bomb site, which was unfortunate for them. Not getting off onto the right foot there, but again, Mirage was a nice map for TSM.
One of the things that really made the difference was finally Semphis stepped up and did something. There's so many maps where Semphis previously didn't really contribute to the team, and he's always been the star opera role, and I think the transition of structure and the transition of players has affected him, because I think that he has the freedom, or feels like he has the freedom in the team, to go crazy anymore like he used to, because he used to play that pickup style and have all the freedom that he wanted, not a care in the world. But then when the pressure's on, he's got to play more disciplined. I think that was affecting him. But we started to see that he started to get comfortable, and that allowed them to take a map from Fnatic, and it gave confidence to the rest of the team too. And so that's a big deal. So that definitely people cannot count out TSM in the future. There is much more to be learned from them.
Yeah, and let's bear in mind the stand-in Cadian did good work today, especially on Mirage. He multiple times this week he did really nice work for them, helped them come to this third map, and we will see Twist come back to the team in their online matches and see if they can continue improving in that regard. But again, they went for the YOLO push here on the pistol round over towards the A side, but Fnatic were charging in towards B. So Fnatic getting off to a good start there, and maybe TSM just weren't able to catch up with them. And that 180 headshot from Crims was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, and this is the sad thing for TSM is that this is a great map for them. I mean, there were some comments saying how much they practice Cobblestone, how it's a really good finish for them. And you could really see it, actually, despite what was a landslide scoreline in the end, where Fnatic just got round after round after round. There were many very close rounds from TSM. They always kept Fnatic on their toes, and it took some ridiculous clutches from the likes of Crims, from the likes of Dennis, to actually make sure that they could continue that momentum. And Fnatic, you know, they're always going to be a team that can dominate you, and they played very disciplined, they played very focused, and they really gave, I think, TSM a lot of respect in this last map.
There it is, 16-6, and that took Fnatic over the line. An uncomfortable series for the Swedish side, but indeed they still made it to the final there. So that's all that counts at the end of the day. They will be waiting patiently to see who out of these two teams will be doing the same. I'm sure they'll be watching as well and looking for strengths and weaknesses between these two sides. So I think we will be going to a short break and returning shortly, hopefully with the resumption of the match. We will see you back here soon.
Hi, I'm Richard Lewis reporting for Eleague, and joining me is one of the great Danish players who has recently joined Team Dignitas. It is Cajun B. So let's start with leaving Astralis. You'd been there for a long, long time, but now you find yourself being the guy who has to leave, so the team believes they can take it to the next level. How does that feel?
It feels quite okay. I guess it was like a natural way to split between the team. Like the past 6-7 months, we didn't really achieve that big of achievements anymore. We didn't win any tournaments, and like the 3 last tournaments we participated in, we passed out in the group.
I think you moving to Team Dignitas is an example of the one time in Counter-Strike I can think of where it's a beneficial trade for both teams. I think they needed somebody who could use an AWP, a good sniper. No disrespect to MSL. Do you agree with that assessment?
I agree, definitely. I think I can, first of all, I can give Dignitas some experience. When I came on the team, I could feel that the tactics is not really what it should be. I have been second called before in my career, but I also a really good AWPer. So I think I'm gonna pick your AWPer, and I'm gonna be the second caller on the team.
You're an interesting case because leaving Astralis, you still have partial ownership of that team. And this seems to have confused a lot of people. Obviously, I don't want to ask you any difficult questions. It's not that kind of interview. But people have pointed that maybe it could potentially be a conflict of interest down the road. Let's say, for example, you got your dream of revenge and Dignitas played Astralis. You have a partial ownership of Astralis while you play for Dignitas. How does that relationship work out long term?
I would not have any ambition. I would not get anything out of it if I decided to do match fixing. And if let's say that I would decide, let's say I play as well as in the final of Eleague. I would lose much more on it if I decide to throw the match. And why would I throw a match when no one does that?
Would you ever consider maybe being bought out or selling your stake in Astralis?
If I can see that there's something huge wrong here, and I can see that people are not mad, but they are frustrated about it, I would consider buying out.
Welcome back to Eleague. Soon we will be ready to resume the match which had been paused. We're on the third map between Dignitas and Faze. And James, the stakes are fairly high.
Indeed they are. Just 2 rounds between these two teams and 1 round to play in the first half before Faze take the aggressive side. So we're going to have to wait and see who takes this one. Again, Faze winning a very unlikely round there with a nasty eco set up with 3 players towards the mid area, stealing a round away from Dignitas. Both teams will be on quite a reasonable buy in this particular round, which should be getting into action shortly. So pretty much a full buy for both sides. Unclear as to who might take it here. 8-6 in favour of Dignitas on Dignitas' T side at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's pretty key that, you know, we just saw a graphic there showing that Kiyoshima's been one of the better performers here for Faze, and that is definitely going to play a part into Faze right now, because we should see them moving forwards there and being on the aggressive side, or being able to take some aggressions there with him, and it's very curious to see how that's going to pan out. Of course, you know, Dignitas, although I shouldn't get ahead of myself, we still have 1 round left of Dignitas on the T side. And it's going to be quite important for them to nail this one, because as I said previously, I feel like Faze could actually surprise and shock Dignitas with some of the strategies that they have to show for on that second half. And before we get there, Dignitas need to secure the 9th round. And, well, looks like we might be going to another little bit of a delay.
They've all gone mad. They've all gone mad.
They've been paid off.
So, yeah, I think we're going to have a quick restart of the round, and then we should be good to go. So apologies for the delays here, but
it's a monkey there on the desk, James. A cuddly monkey. Look at it.
How do you know it's cuddly?
Well, it looks cuddly. It looks very fluffy.
Yeah, but that's an assumption, Dan. That's an estimation. You have no facts. You have no proof that it's cuddly.
You know, there are a lot of players that used to, and still do actually, you know, have little animals or, you know, stuffed animals, whatever it is, on their desks, to little mascots, if you will. Famously, the first person who did that was actually Fatality. A little tiger draped across his monitor.
So
the CRT monitors.
I would have gone for a boxing glove.
A boxing glove.
Why not?
I mean, we had, I think, Astralis had loads of cuddly toys as well. I think, what is it a hedgehog that Dupree has?
I have no idea, Dan, but maybe we can find out after the break. As while we resolve these gremlins in the system, we'll see you back here shortly. Welcome back to the show. So Dignitas said, hey, wait, we don't have a bomb. Definitely did have a bomb. So they're going crazy over there. One round remains in the first half, and we are finally going to get things underway once again. You see the AWP onto both sides, lots of utility on to both sides. Standard start here for Dignitas with the smoke coming down into mid.
Yeah, we got Cajun on that AWP, and that's going to be fun to watch. See what he can do with it. Obviously, right now we've got him moving towards the B apartments, and, well, the smoke is going to definitely make things a little bit more awkward. Not much to be done when that smoke is down, and Rain with some cursory spray through the wooden panel there. We'll find no opponents, and MSR is going for the creeper mode up middle there. Crouching crab walking in, and Drops has to go forward through the smoke there because the pressure's on. And look at the reaction here, very nice incendiary. And now the aggression coming in from Connector as the information reaches Kiyoshima, and he'll get a frag out of it. Although Config's in a very forward position. Oh, he just barely sees the barrel. But there's Kiyoshima able to defend his teammate AZ in the window room, and now Dignitas are in on top of this B bomb site, but they are being deflected by JChem.
The Cajun B, last man standing versus 3, and he's looking for more frags, but while he looks for more frags, there's more rotation coming in, so maybe he will find some. Maybe he will get traded. We will soon find out. Angles being held now by the CT side. Doesn't matter if Cajun B plants the bomb, as this is the last round of the half, so as long as Faze can defuse it, then they are all good. Cajun B picking up the bomb now. Still nobody facing, and he knows they're going to be waiting for him. But he's just going to go for the hero plant anyway. 1 versus 3. How many 1 versus 1 can he get? Fox spotted there. And it's going to be Cajun B tagged and finished off by Kiyoshima coming in from the short position. So Faze gets an important 7th round on the board. Dignitas will lead by 1. And now we will find out who will take the aggression over to the second half. And again, Faze with a reasonable score on a CT half. They have the potential to do great damage on a T side. It just comes down to if Dignitas can get off to a good start, if they can hold things down. Again, Faze are going to be very dangerous indeed. So while it's 7 rounds and you think, should have Faze got more, you have to ask the same question for Dignitas, because we know what Faze are capable of, especially if Kishima can get firing and running down the middle of mid.
Yeah, and we're going to go straight into this one as well. And I was bigging up the ability for Faze to play on their T-side. And we just saw 3 kills out of Kyoshima. And we've seen he's been one of the more important players in some of their aggressive strategies. So I cannot wait to see what happens when Faze gets some money. But with an 8-7 scoreline, I really feel like this one is up in the air right now. Either team could win this and take this to the finals against Fnatic tomorrow live on TBS. But first, the Pistols.
AZ looks like he's smoked towards the jungle connector area. And indeed, it is a full commitment here from Faze. Now, Dignitas, they have a choice to make. Will they play for the retake, or will they go through those smokes and try to stop this from happening? We've got Rubino creeping in the corner, but he will back off. They will indeed play for the retake. Where will the bomb get planted? That will determine how easy it is for Faze to defend here. CT side streaming in, but only from jungle and connector for the time being. They need to go and take CT, but CT has been taken by the T's. Config, though, has something to say about it. And Faze are now going to be caught in an awkward spot. MSL towards Sandwich getting taken down. Rubino on the connector stairs, and Config indeed has come in from CT. Can the T's retake it? We've got nades flying in there. Man advantage for the T's at the moment, and they're all running all over the place. Really hard to catch them. KGB looking for some frags. He's going to run out of bullets, but not before he takes down Fox. Kyoshima going to trade, and Cajun B will get taken down as well. Tensky versus 3. Only got 20 HP and Kevlar, and there are too many numbers. Faze win a crucial first round in the second half.
Messy stuff there on the bomb side, but it will indeed go to Faze, and they're going to get the AKs out. The P90 is going to come in. Dignitas, what do they go for? Some teams do like to just play this very conservatively these days instead of going for the force buy, and it can be quite hard to win the force buy rounds when you're on this map and you're playing a team that can play good anti-force buy. I'm not even super confident that Faze are going to be one of those teams which you should respect hugely, like your NIPs or your Astraluses and so on when it comes to that sort of situation. But anyway, it will be a bit of a light investment, not all the way from Dignitas, just a few pistols to see what damage they can get done. And I think they'll be happy with 2 or 3 kills. And let's see if they can get that as Faze move up into middle.
Just see how AZ checked the entire wall there. Again, that's something that TSM didn't manage to do, if I remember correctly, on Mirage earlier on here, which could cause accidents. But Faze definitely more meticulous here on Mirage, doing well so far. No damage really taken by any player here. AZ's got himself a 3k for 30 HP. And Rubino's the last man standing on a team. Far away over towards the A bomb site. Faze looking good at the moment, and they will have the range advantage. Rubino finished off. Not much he could do there. So Faze take the lead now. Dignitas, we can expect one more eco before the big buy comes in.
And that eco is going to feature many explosive objects, specifically high explosive grenades. And let's see if, Dignitas will try to play dodgeball with Faze. Let's see if Faze are going to dodge or if they're going to get caught by those. We've seen a lot of interesting plays with that last week, actually. Let's see if Dignitas can get something going. They're going to be going up mid with them. Here they go. Ace is going to be able to spot everything. There's 5 players facing at once. The grenades are going to start to land here on these players as they take down AZ. Kyo's trapped there amongst many numbers as the CTs press the attack, but the flag for JK with the P90 is good. 3 kills in a row for him, and that's going to be the round safe, secure, and in the bag there for Faze as they go in against Dignitas' buy round.
What a glorious sound. That P90 ringing out to stop the shenanigans of Dignitas. How dare you come after my teammates? I will bring you nothing but glory. They will name streets after you in various places in Denmark. They won't really. 2-round lead here for Faze at the moment as the buy comes out for Dignitas. 5 rifles for the side. Jacob getting a little bit of a run boost from his teammate there. And he will continue with the P90. If they go for a fast aggression phase, then that P90 may pay off at close quarters. We will have to see later on as Faze take their initial control. And indeed, that P90 putting in work there. Jacob picking up the AK from his teammates.
Yeah, long range, no less. And actually, nice aggression there from Tensky. Was that through the smoke? Very nice timing if it was. I mean, he could have predicted that. They did spot, obviously, Jacob in that area previously. So Tensky on point in that situation. That brings it to a 4 versus 3 in favor of the Danish side. Dignitas just looking to play a little bit more passively now. They don't need to take too many risks. They can play 2 players to each bomb side or something similar. Or if they can try to push 1 player on the B apps, maybe they can start to push more towards A. And it does seem like they have a better defense towards A at the moment. They're really feeling this push, and Faze is starting to creep in. And right now we have Rubino going close. And Config on the stairs as well. So this is actually a great setup here for Dignitas, but they must avoid the initial grenades. They must avoid the initial entry fragging attempts here. As the flashbang comes in, Rain will try to turn away there. Fox tries to press the issue, and you can see that Rubino and Config both having a lot of trouble with the grenades thrown in, but still not dead actually, still on the site, still ready to defend here as their teammates are starting to run in. Faze are too slow, but there is the headshot found by Rain. What else can they get? Config with an excellent frag there, a second as well, finding the headshot onto Rain as he drops, forcing AZ to plant alone, 1 versus 2. And the quick flank will mean the end of AZ, but the bomb went down at the very least for some extra cash in the bank.
Yeah, Faze had the money to buy in the next round anyway, and that will be a bonus. So Dignitas surviving with 2 players means their economy is going to be spread thin despite winning the round. That's something Faze can try to capitalize on in the coming round. Nice play there by Config. But Faze, they were so hesitant to push the site, they allowed the rotation to come in, and that means AZ gets killed as soon as the bomb goes down. It doesn't have time to adjust because they took too long to make it into the site in the first place. And now we will see who has the superior buy between these 2 teams, and it looks like Faze. Orb coming out onto Fox here. We'll see what Tensky picks up when he makes his exit. It will be an AK resting for him. So a good buy for both teams, and this will be a crucial round for both sides. We'll see Fox making his way into mid, missing the shot though, but MSL's kind of stuck, and he cannot escape in time. Taken down by Kiyoshima.
Now the cool thing is to note how they play the round from this point, because again, you get the early round advantage as the terrorist side, and that means the defense is thinned out. It also means that Dignitas will feel this as a disadvantage, and they may try to push somewhere. Often you're going to see either a palace push, a slope push, or an apartments push, or a retake into mid. That's the most dangerous one, obviously, as Faze are just sitting in there right now, and Config is going to try to see what he can get. He's got some good angles here, very unexpected angles, but he's going to spot nothing, and this is really big right now. He's going to hear the nade going in towards the B apps, but that is actually just a presence play to show that Faze could be in that area. And what's going to happen is Config is going to get the information for his team to say, guys, it's going to be A right now.
How long will they take Faze to move before this information is found by Config? It seems it may already be too late. Look at the rotation on the map. We have the player from B moving towards A. B is being abandoned, and Dignitas are looking to have a strong hold here. Rubino is going to be key, and his teammates are going to need to support him. We may see a few flashbangs fly in here for the T side, or maybe they'll go for the raw peaks. It seems it could be the latter. Fox getting into position now as well. Tensky may be sacrificed if he goes for the repeat here, but the CT's coming in for the flashes. Rubino makes himself known. The trades come in though. And out of flank here from Config. We've got blinds players, and that is a massive play here. But it's only a 2 versus 2. Now it's Config alone. They know where he is. Headshots are raining in all over the place, and AZ will finish Dignitas off. That is an economy reset that Dignitas cannot afford right now.
What a big play from AZ right at the end there. I thought that Config had done more than enough work. He got all the information for his team with a big risk. He got 3 kills there, very decisively so as well. Look at this. Fantastic work. And then all of his teammates, they couldn't survive against the bulk of the initial play. And that's a play that Dignitas knew was coming a mile away. So if they're having problems with rounds like that, that definitely does not bode well here for the Danish side. We'll have to see if they can find a recovery, because right now it's all going to be about Faze. Faze have the buy, Dignitas do not. Faze also have the Mach 10 onto Kiyoshima, so he can play the information game. So it looks like Jacob will spot 1 player. But is it a stack? Is it not? They still don't know Faze. They need some more information before committing forwards. Okay, Config's going to push up mid and just nail AZ there. Lovely stuff for Dignitas, but will it matter?
Config and his Deagles.
Yeah, man.
Perhaps a love story, but it may end in tragedy if Dignitas can't start to claw back the round back. 2-round lead for Faze at the moment. They're a man down, but they have time on their side for the time being. Jacob harassing over towards the B platform. Problem is for Faze, they don't have any Molotovs here. You could just drop one on the end of the platform, and that would cause many problems. Tensky wouldn't be able to hold that off angle. Cajun B is going to have to keep re-picking, which is the interesting thing here, to enable Tensky to stay there. And it looks like the punish is coming in, but Tensky's got a piece of 50. Nothing can be done though. Cajun B going as well. 3 plays remaining for the CTs. Coming in from short. They've got no more presence on the B bomb site itself, which means the range advantage is with Faze. Although it's Deagle still in play here. Make that 1. MSL last man standing. MSL last man to fall. 3-round lead now for Faze.
Yeah, they're starting to get some of the momentum on the board. And the buy is still not going to be found here for Dignitas because of that hard reset. So they're going to have to go for another half buy, another save. And Rain, really nice entry work there with the long-range spray. And if he keeps that kind of work up, definitely there's going to be problems here for Dignitas in the future rounds, but one more for them to wait. But the problem is that that's going to put Faze on 13 already, so at that point, Dignitas cannot make another mistake. So the pressure truly is on.
Rain with an early frag onto Config. This is another eco here for Dignitas, so nothing to go crazy about, but at least Faze have got the opening kill in a round where they have a significant advantage. Wasn't the case in the previous round, although he did manage to stabilize and take it over the line. 3 more plays to find. MSL playing blind spots, but not blind enough, unfortunately. Fox is going to take him down. Quick clean out by Faze, and again, we have a situation now where Faze are 4 rounds ahead of Dignitas. Dignitas coming back into a bye. They won't have much money left, but Faze will. So even if Faze lose, it's nothing but pressure coming the way of Dignitas.
Yeah, these performances are starting to get pretty interesting right now, just due to the fact that Faze still don't seem to, don't appear to be having any issues with the fact that Dignitas are getting some good positioning in, they're getting some good information in. Faze can always fire their way out, shoot their way out of any problems that they may be having. And if that continues, Dignitas, well, they don't have much in the way of a buffer now. Got to get it done here, and MSL tries to take a risk there, gets shot in the feet as he gets spotted from underpass. Jacob just with a quick little Molotov to keep himself safe as he pushes forwards now, and they can feel the presence of the CTs in the middle. And Dignitas have to be careful not to give up an early round advantage. We saw that was an issue on map 1. And here is the mid take from Faze. It has come to a head now. All they need to do is take connector and shorts, and then they can make the play from there. Dignitas have allowed them that position. They've been pushed back now.
An interesting smoke the T's have opted for in the connector. I think it gives them a bit of breathing room to look into the A bomb site while mostly denying vision towards short. So if there is a B split coming in, then Dignitas may have trouble trying to stop it from the A site through connector. We see Faze just lining up now to make their play. Dignitas may have players in the wrong position here. This might be a bit awkward for the team. Maybe having a read that it's going to be an A play, but you see KGB moving backwards and forward. Tensky going for the peak as well, and he's going to be in for a nasty surprise now. The nade starts to rain in, and he's going to be completely blind and overwhelmed here by these T's. KGB taking 1 down, but there are 4 on the side here. He needs to get more frags and waste time for his team to come in. Config with a 2-man spray down. That's going to be massive. Man advantage for the CTs, but AZ's holding the angle. Going to get shot by his teammate. Bit nervy, these Faze players. AZ's angle is crucial to the rest of this round here for Faze.
Yeah, AZ waits patiently. He knows the push is going to come. It's a matter of time. There's the flashbang. There are the players. The spray comes in. It's not good enough from AZ. Only 1 frag. Kyushiman not with the health to withstand the push from Config and MSL. And that's going to be the round there for Dignitas. They will save themselves a round that they could not afford to lose. But equally, they can't afford to lose any rounds at this point because Faze are so close. And that double man spray down from Config, very important stuff there. And 13-10 is the score, and you can see Config, he's been really delivering here for his side.
But again, we have problems going forward if Faze can take this round. They've still got some money in the bank. Faze. Dignitas buying within an inch of their economy, so they cannot afford to drop any round. Dignitas surviving with 2 players. This is the problem they will have. They need to survive with 4 players, 5 players, and that's going to make life a lot easier for them going forward. Faze 3 rounds away from victory here. Fox looking to get into an advanced position early to try and catch Tensky if he jumps on the box. But Tensky will do no such thing. That's a nice meaty nade coming in as well, and he'll go back towards the peaking. We've seen it punished, but the good thing is for Tensky that the jump arc, the height of it, is out of range here for Fox. So he is doing that as safely as possible. And the smoke will come in to slow down Faze, who have most of their plays over towards B, maybe relying on that pick, but it doesn't come in.
Yeah, and often teams will have this plan A. It's okay, you try to get a pick here, you try to get a pick here. We play defensively here, and if by a certain amount of time nothing happens, you have to do something else. You have to take some map control because the CT side are playing passively and forcing you to attack the side or to run a set piece onto a bomb side. And that's essentially what Dignitas have done here by playing it so passively. And they're sort of gambling that it's going to be a play towards the A side because right now we can see that they have a very strong situation there. It's going to be hard for Faze to actually break in, and they are deciding to go for this bomb side. They'll have a bit of a split. Only a double-pronged split right now from Connector and from Slope. They need the entries. They have 35 seconds to make this work now. Very nice little smoke grenade there for Jacob to play around, but still, it's going to be down to the push up front with the bomb. And looks good. Rain with a double there. Can't get the third. KGB's going to shut it down, but there are surely many players where he came from, and indeed, the frags will fall, and it's a 2 versus 1 with the bomb down. Tensky with it all to do.
And they've planted the bomb on triple, which means they can defend it from many more places than they could if it was the default position, which is going to make life very hard for Tensky. Actually, no, it's planted on default. So Faze with an interesting position. Now they can't actually defend the bomb from this place. They have a HE and their guns. Tensky is, it seems he's going to go for the save here. Getting an AWP, and he will just hold on to what little Dignitas have. And indeed, we mentioned the economical issues here. If we look at the money for Dignitas, we'll see that they have been broken by this round. Again, the pressure from Faze just too great. Too much money in the bank for the T side.
Yeah, they're looking really good at the moment, and they haven't even really been running a lot of their fast rounds. This is actually something that Thorin was talking about on the desk earlier, about how Faze were taking rounds on overpass. It was actually with a lot of strategy that they actually, or rather, it was actually Cash, sorry, where they were pressing up onto the big positions like middle, the big portions of map control taken. They would try to bait reaction. They would try to punish reaction. They would make mid-round calls. They would actually play into sites. It wasn't just as simple as hit this site or hit this site, which was generally how they used to be. And Faze are applying that again, not relying on the super fast, crazy plays, but as we're going to see in this round, they still have those in the bag to throw at their opponents, and there's the entry.
Yeah, speaking of fast plays, Dan, that is the one we were looking for. The one Kishima likes to lead the charge in towards that connector area. AZ smoked off for the time being, but KGB, oh, he's got the bomb down, and his teammates are coming in for work as well. Everyone's getting wiped out apart from Kishima. What has happened here? We've got 3 players surviving for Dignitas. That is a very fast and bizarre round, but FaZe can continue the pressure here. They've still got money in the bank, and they've got a 3-round lead. And even if they lose, then their loss bonus can build up. But the money has finally been cleared for the FaZe team after this buy comes in.
I've actually never seen Faze's Faze strategy get shut down like that before, and with less than optimal equipment at that. So that's pretty good going by Dignitas, and they definitely needed that one. Let's see if they can convert. They've got MSL on the AWP now, as the bulk of Faze are moving towards the B apartments down into the underpass area, and Dignitas have a bit of a setup going here with just trying to get MSL dug in deep with the AWP, the B apps to give them info, and Dignitas are waiting. But where are the Qs here? They're going to hear some jumping in middle, some presence made there by Faze. Lots of smokes down to obscure vision, and this is always precarious stuff, playing around these smokes to play around limited vision, especially if you're alone, as is Config right now. And he knows that they do want to take that position, but it's Kiyoshima that's going to give a haircut to Cajun B. And now it's a problem here for Dignitas because they're down a man. Oh no, it gets worse. Jacob takes down Config as well. MSL responds as they try to take Connector, but he's in trouble. What? Great shot there from MSL with that Deagle, and that turns the tides massively back into the favor of Dignitas.
There are bigger problems than that. I think Tensky might have seen the bomb is in T-spawn. AZ alone now versus 3. He's got a lot of work to do here, and he's got 45 seconds to do it. He needs to find all these players or run back and go and retrieve the bomb, and then basically just charge into one of these 2 sites here. And people are taking angles while all of this happens. And with Tensky top mid, he's going to hear AZ running to go and retrieve this bomb, and he can just reposition as necessary. So Dignitas have all the information they need. C players moving into A now because they know that he doesn't have time to go to B. So AZ is up against it. Could be a double peek coming in. I think he spotted one player there, trying to shoulder peek, trying to avoid the AWP, but Rubino's there with the AK, and that is a big play from MSL on a short position to help Dignitas take that round.
The Deagle frag was just, look at this, boom. That is insane. That was such an important kill from MSL, the fadeaway Deagle at long range, and now Dignitas are in a position once again to steal it away, because just as you said, there's just nothing in the bank here for FaZe. They just don't have anything to work with, so Dignitas have a real chance to equalize, but they still need 4 rounds to win this one on Mirage, so there's still a ways to go. They must keep their composure, they must keep their nerve.
This is a great opportunity for them to rebuild their money. Nothing really here for the FaZe clan. No nades. A little hope. They've got a lurker. and they've got a numbers game to play. MSL missing the initial shot there. We have a fast boost step coming in, and no scope is not going to be enough. Legs are not going to get the fatal kill there. Jacob survived. Maybe that was through the walls. You know, he's got armor, so it probably was the leg. Either way, 2 players lost here for Dignitas. Not like this, Dan. Surely not like this. No one's gone down for the FaZe clan at the moment. And now Dignitas are left to guess where the bomb is going. With no nades, FaZe have got massive map control at the moment. Dignitas have almost no eyes on 80% of the map right now.
And I mean, there's no Kevlar on these players for FaZe either, and they don't have the rifles just yet. So there's always going to be opportunity for Dignitas here. But it's definitely very scary right now. Talking about maintaining composure, there's a lot of pressure in a situation like this around that they can never give away. Here goes FaZe and his Tensky. There's the first frag with KGB. Great crossfire coming in. Now it's just Fox and Kiyoshima left, but Kiyoshima has found himself a rifle. 2 versus 2. Tensky winning the important battle. Kiyoshima eliminated as well by Rubino. And that's going to be 13-14. The 3 remaining players of Dignitas saving their situation there, which could have been a little bit embarrassing, but it's all okay.
Well, we find another crucial round. FaZe had basically nothing there, and they did colossal damage to the economy of Dignitas. They've got a little bit of money left in the hole here, but this is another crucial round for both sides because there isn't really much money left for either team. So whoever wins this is going to be in a very strong position to take the map and make it to TBS tomorrow. But which one will it be? Fox is getting into position, as are all the players on both teams. Dignitas opting for a bit of an unexpected, perhaps, set up towards the A bomb site, especially with Cajun B's position. That is not always checked when pushes come in. MSL again on the AWP rather than Cajun B. He's in the mid position, maybe allowing Cajun B to take a more important role, perhaps. MSL's done nice work as of late in the mid area, winning some crucial duels for his team. But they're still 1 round behind FaZe clan at the moment.
They are, and currently we've got FaZe, moving the bomb back into middle, so a very delayed take of the middle area. Dignitas playing it passively, playing it by ear, not going for any information plays, which of course come at their own risk. And now we're going to see slow but sure occupation here from FaZe. They've got themselves connector. But what will they do with it? They have also a player who is by the slope position, but it looks like Fox is going to get an entry kill there towards short, or rather just the pick off there, and that means that the B side of the map is really under a lot of problems at the moment, but there are also problems in the fact that there's very little time left to actually take the bomb site, and the bomb is only just reaching T-spawn now, and they're going to be left with 30 seconds to get onto a site. Looks like they've chosen that B bomb site, but that adds insult to injury. JChem, oh dear. Frag through the boxes there, and now Dignitas are down to 2 members.
This is a really bad spot for Dignitas. They don't have much money in the bank here, and FaZe are about to move to match point. To come all this way and potentially fail could be heartbreaking for the Danish side, but it's not over yet. They'll try to hold on to these 2 weapons. The money's not spectacular for the T's either, so they can't really afford to use too many players to hunt here, as it may make things awkward for them in what could be the final round of the game. We'll see if it goes that way and how much money Dignitas are left with. Dignitas are going to be on the minimal loss bonus, having won the last 3 rounds in a row. $1,400 is what each of these teams will get. If they can hold on to these 2 weapons, actually, they might have quite a reasonable buy coming into the next round. Rubino on 4.5K and Config on 41.
They'll have something, but will it be enough? Right now, FaZe are so close. Just 1 more round. Dignitas need 2 for the overtime. The pressure couldn't be greater for Dignitas right now. And FaZe as well. As if they make any mistakes, any missteps, any lapses of focus could cost either team right now. A very important map. And we'll have right now Fox going for a move he hasn't been for before that I have seen on Mirage in this matchup today. He goes in for the pressure onto Palace, but on the other side of the map, we've got Config with a kill there. So already Dignitas take an early round advantage, but can they hold it?
That is, again, Dignitas have limited utility here, so that's a brave play, but a needed one by Config there, and it shows that the temperament's in the right place for the side despite their current situation. What can FaZe do? Yeah, if they are to lose this round and then get reset, then we may have even more problems. Fox looking for an opening. Faze looking for information, as are Dignitas. Both teams are low on info at present, trying to work out what they're both trying to do. Tensky with a scout holding an angle towards the B apartments at the moment. He's trying to get that early information. He's got that crack in the wall there. That gap, rather. MSL with a big frag onto AZ. Faze have done nothing yet, and they've only got 3 players. They can get the frags in, though. And they're, speaking of which, Rain, ever reliable with the headshots, taking Rubino down, and they're trying to force the CTs away from the A bomb site, but there's still one in CT spawn. That's Cajun B, gets blinded and he's forced back. There's a gap in a smoke though. Config looking for the frags, he'll find it onto Rain. No trade here from Faze. Faze in trouble now. Fox and Kiyashima, it's going to make it really hard to get the trade frags there. Kiyashima doing what he can, frag for the smoke for both sides. Fox alone versus 3. He had loads of 1v3 situations to get his team to the major. Can he get them to TBS tomorrow?
Well, there is no time now. At least he's going to be able to save that AWP into the next round. But the money for his team is definitely going to be lacking. Now, they'll have enough, though, to have another AK buyout, but I'm not sure if they'll have enough for a great amount of grenades. That might be the general sacrifice, but they should have enough to execute any sort of ideas or strategies when it comes to map control. Or set pieces onto bomb site, just enough. And Dignitas now starting to get more confidence, not actually going to the AWP on their CT side. Now they just need one more round to secure the overtime, to have a chance at winning this map.
AZ's opted for grenades over the AK. If he had bought an AK, he would have had $200 for a flashbang, so he's gone for the nades for his team. Worst case scenario, maybe he can pick up a weapon later on. Fox moving fast into a different area now, making sure to stave off any aggression coming in for the CTs, who don't have much vision of mid at the moment. Faze taking it easy so far. This is a very important round for both teams.
Yeah, I really like that play from Fox, actually. You won't see people going there very often, but if you catch somebody with aggression there, then that's going to be really bad for them. And you can see that the position that he has with the peek here, the follow-up play from that initial defensive position is strong. Oh, that is so funny. The flash from his teammate forced him out of the position. Fox couldn't get the frag. Oh no, he misses a very crucial shot. Will he get another go of it? I'm not sure that he will, because right now they've been scared off, but that nade could be good. Config down, oh, 3 HP from that nade, and MSL will defend. Jaken trying to take the initiative, and he'll get shut down. And it's a 4 versus 5 now for Faze as they move forwards. But AZ's got the better of Config. Now it is equalized, but MSL's position is superior right now because he knows that somebody's here. Will he try to pre-fire some of these spots? Oh no, MSL might be getting shot in the back. And that's a pivotal moment right now. AZ has control of the window room. The rest of his team now can make their way to A.
Rubino is isolated now, holding down the CT spawn area. He needs to try and slow this potential bomb plant there. Nice angle onto Fox. Is there any answer for Faze? Molotov's coming in, trying to slow the advance. Cajun B goes down, leaving Rubino alone, and he is going to get taken down by AZ. It's Tensky versus 3 to keep Dignitas in it, to take it to overtime, to stop Faze from making it to TBS. There is a Bermuda Triangle here, and he may be lost on the radar, Dan, as he moves into this site. This might be too much to ask.
And AZ's on the angle as well, but they are going to wait until he taps the bomb, until they reveal themselves. There is no way to know when they're going to peek out. There's the first peek. This is so distracting. Tensky can't get it done. It's going to be Faze taking themselves to the finals against Fnatic tomorrow, live on TBS.
So close for Dignitas, only to be taken down at the very last hurdle. Faze with a very difficult test managed to survive by the skin of their teeth in normal time. It'll be Faze versus Fnatic on TBS tomorrow. But what a great showing there by Dignitas. Finally showing up on Mirage. That's the kind of Dignitas we wanted to see all week, and it comes in when it's important, but it's not enough. Faze take it over the line here. We will see what Richard, Thorian and Moses think about this after the break. We will see you back here soon.